now, including wearing black and white ties or wearing black ties with a white shirt, sending a Penguin Day e-card, replacing your desktop with Penguin Pictures, passing along Penguin Pictures, or watching Penguin-related films. Today is Penguin Awareness Day. This is their type of weather. On this Tuesday, the 20th day of January, right here on The Joe Show. 859-238-9447, the number to call in this morning, 238-WHIR. On this Tuesday, the 20th day of January, it's time for the National Anthem as we see what's going on here with Bob Allen Motor Mall and the Hometown Radio Network teaming up to honor America with a National Anthem.
The Bob Allen Motor Mall and Hometown Radio Network proudly honor America with the playing of our National Anthem.
There you go, Bob Allen Motor Mall, Hometown Radio Network, teaming up every morning to honor America with the playing of our National Anthem. Our phone number to call in this morning is 859-238-9447. That's 238-WHIR. Birthdays and anniversaries right here on the radio, on the Joe Show, 238-WHIR. I got the birthdays loaded up here, and I think that my computer just locked up. Yeah, it did. All right, let me see if I can get the birthday music loaded back up here. 859-238-9447. I have got 6 names on this morning's birthday list celebrating on this 20th day of January. Let me see. Radio Rick has sent me 4 names celebrating on this January 20th. Let's go ahead and hop into it, and we'll get the music loaded up here in just a second. Laura Hayes-Jones is having a birthday today. Happy birthday to Laura Hayes-Jones. Brenda Brown celebrates a birthday today. Happy birthday, Brenda. Jean Jolly Robertson having a birthday today. Happy birthday to her. Mac Marie celebrates a birthday. So does Savannah Tully, Jessica Hess, Frank Martin, Julie Clay, Kevin Kunch, and Michael Cooper on the birthday list today. 859-238-WHIR, 238-9447. Birthdays and anniversaries, we have them on here all day long. If you celebrate on this Tuesday, the 20th day of January, we have a phone call in here, I believe, adding another birthday to the list. Let's see. Good morning. You're on the Joe Show.
Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Hey, doing great. How is Jane doing?
Doing wonderful, as good as an old fat woman can be.
Well, Jane, tell us what you got going on with you today.
We got a birthday for you, Sandy Grubbs.
Sandy Grubbs.
Yes, sir.
All righty, we got her down. Happy birthday today to Sandy Grubbs, courtesy of Jane. We'll put Sandy on here, okay?
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it.
You too. Bye. There you go. Happy birthday as well today to Sandy Grubb. She's added to our birthday list. Call them in, 859-238-WHIR. Get them on here. It's a Tuesday. It's the 20th day of January. Typical Tuesday morning show we have lined up for you. First guest is on here this morning at 7:10. Now we're switching some things around beginning this morning. We're pushing our basketball coach interviews back to 7:20. And at 7:10, we're going to have Boyle County and Casey County State Rep Daniel Elliott join the show as we are underway in this 2026 legislative session. So it's going to be important to have him on morning 7:10 here on WHIR. We'll have Daniel Elliott on here. He'll update us on what's going on there at the state capitol, in the state house specifically, every Monday through Friday morning at 7:10. 7:20. Danville boys basketball coach Tristan Ford joins the show. Admiral's got a big win over Boyle County on Friday, and we'll talk with Coach Tristan Ford about that at 7:20. 7:40, Tyler Miller joins us for the County Agents Corner, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market. Lincoln County Week this week. We'll get Tyler on here at 7:40. 8 o'clock in the morning hour this morning, 8:10, we've got Mike Marcy, the Marcinator, calling in for the Boyle County Public Library. 8:20, Randyisms, the thoughts of Randy Graham and Randy Graham's thoughts. He'll be on here at 8:20 this morning. 8:40, James the Gardener, Gardy with James. We'll see what's going on with the Gardener at 8:40 this morning. Dusty's on here at 9:10 for the Kentucky Music Preview. And at 9:35 this morning, it is a Tuesday with Stith as Ann Yeager joins the show this morning from Stith Funeral Home. That's how the show runs down. We'd love to have you as a part of it. 859-238-9447 on this 20th day of January. We've got sports coming your way next. As we take a look at early morning sports, the Hoosiers do it. Indiana, your college football national champions. We'll talk about it next. The Hoosiers are national champions in football. The Titans set to hire their new head coach. Kansas and their basketball coach, Bill Self, he doesn't travel with their team. Those are the headlines of this Tuesday morning. I'm Joe Mathis, guiding you through these Tuesday morning sports. Starting off in college football, where the most unlikely team to ever win the national championship has basically done that. Fernando Mendoza delivered some late game magic, and number 1 seeded Indiana held on to beat number 10 Miami 27-21 in the college football playoff championship game to claim their first title in program history. The win completes a stunning turnaround orchestrated by second-year coach Kurt Signetti, who inherited what is historically one of the weakest programs in the football bowl subdivision, but quickly transformed the Hoosiers into the best team the sport has to offer. A surprisingly low-scoring game through the first half began to open up in the third quarter, and then took on a frenzied pace in a final quarter that saw Mendoza put the finishing touches on the most memorable individual season in program history by providing clutch plays on 2 Indiana scoring drives. He finished 16-27 for 186 yards, and he ran for a score. Kalon Black ran for 79 yards on 17 carries, and Roman Hemby added 60 yards on 19 carries. Omar Cooper led IU with 71 yards on 5 receptions, and Charlie Becker added 65 yards, including multiple drive-extending catches in the fourth quarter. Miami quarterback Carson Beck threw for 232 yards on 19-32 passing with a touchdown and an interception. Mark Fletcher Jr. had 112 yards on 17 carries, and freshman receiver Malachi Toney had a game-high 10 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown. In the National Football League, Robert Saleh is coming back among the head coaching ranks in the National Football League. The Tennessee Titans are hiring Saleh, the San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator, to be their next head coach. NFL Media's Ian Rappaport reported on January 18th the Titans had scheduled Saleh for an in-person interview on January 10th. Right after their interview with Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator Matt Nagy, Saleh had a second interview scheduled with the Cardinals on January 20th, but Tennessee did not let him leave its building without a deal. He's 46 years old, spent 3.5 years as the head coach of the Jets between 2021 and 24. He joined the Packers staff in the middle of the 24 season as an offensive consultant. Before the 25 season, Saleh returned to San Francisco for a second stint as the team's defensive coordinator, a role he originally served under head coach Kyle Shanahan from 2017 to 2020. In college basketball, Kansas Jayhawks head coach Bill Self was reportedly hospitalized on Monday and did not travel with the team to Colorado out of an abundance of caution. Per ESPN, the school said Self was feeling, quote, under the weather and was later taken to LMH Health, where he was reportedly given IV fluids. The statement reads, quote, Self is feeling better but did not accompany the team to Boulder. He had another health health scare last summer when he was hospitalized in July after experiencing some concerning symptoms. He was released 2 days later after undergoing a medical procedure in which 2 stents were placed. He also underwent a similar procedure in 2023 and missed that year's Big 12 and NCAA tournaments due to chest tightness and balance concerns. Those are the headlines of this Tuesday morning. I'm Joe Mathis for the Hometown Radio Network.
Hey, it's me again. That's right, I'm Jerry Farmer, and I'm still cutting up. Still Cutting Up is the place to go when you need a fresh cut or a mini afro. Perms, colors, nails too, braids, highlights, and even updo. I know you done heard of us, so get with it. I know you need your hair did. Here's our digit, 238-7899. Bob your head while I rhyme. 24/7, we won't be beat. 365 on South 4th Street. See ya.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's coming your way courtesy of our friends hanging out over at Morning Point in Danville, a state-of-the-art assisted living community giving residents a better quality of life. Get info on Facebook at Morning Point with an E on the end of point, Morning Point of Danville. All right, sunshine, a high of 29, a low tonight of 20. Wind chill is at 2 below zero today, just nasty. Tomorrow, you get a 50-50 chance of rain, mostly cloudy, 43 and 30 is the high and low. Thursday, mostly sunny and 42. Friday, mostly cloudy and 30 is the high. At 6:24 in the morning, 10 degrees here in Danville. Tuesday, the 20th day of the month of January. The wind chill is just below 2.5, 2.4. Is what the wind chill states right now. 859-238-9447. Celebrity birthdays. In the words of Charlie Perry, those famous people having famous birthdays on this famous day. And birthdays today look like this. Starting off on this date, 60 years ago, where actor Rainn Wilson was born. Been in Code 3, but most well-known by far playing Dwight Schrute on The Office. Here's a clip from that. Happy 60th birthday today to Rainn Wilson.
Don't make me fire you.
You can't fire me. You're acting manager, not office manager, so you have no firing powers.
Don't make me pre-fire you.
You wouldn't dare.
Watch this. You're pre-fired. And when I'm promoted, you'll be full fired.
Rainn Wilson, 60 years old today, the guy who played Dwight Schrute and did it so great in The Office. Other birthdays on this January 20th include DeForest Kelley, who played Dr. McCoy on Star Trek. He would have been 106. If he was still with us, he was born back in 1920. Comedian in Real Time with Bill Maher host. Bill Maher, 70 years old today. The second man to step foot on the moon, Buzz Aldrin, turns 96 years old today. And co-founder of KISS, Paul Stanley, 74 years old today. Celebrity birthdays on this Tuesday, the 20th day of January, folks.
This day in country music.
Well, all right then, Mr. Voice. It was on this day, country music history, looking back at the year 1924 in Tampa, Florida, where Otis Dewey Whitman Jr. was born, became known professionally by his stage name, Slim Whitman. It was on this day, country music history, 1965 in Danville, Kentucky, where John Michael Montgomery was born. Happy birthday to John Michael Montgomery, country singer and songwriter. And it was on this day, 1979, Dolly Parton went #1 on the country charts with her song, Baby, I'm Burning. And that's what's gone on this date, January 20th. Country music history. Starting off on this day back in 1924, where Slim Whitman was born. This is a big-time hit called Rose Marie. The American country music singer and songwriter known for his yodeling abilities sold in excess of 120 million albums. There it is. Listen to that man yodel. He is yodeling with the yodelers. Goodness gracious, this one went #1. Actually, at the time, held the Guinness World Record for the longest time at #1 on the UK charts until Bryan Adams broke that record. Beatle George Harrison cited Whitman is an early influence for him, stating, quote, "The first person I ever saw playing a guitar was Slim Whitman. He died June the 19th of 2013. He would have been 102 years old, who is still with us today. That's Slim Whitman."
Never met you, and yet if I should lose you.
And it was on this day in country music history, 1965, right here in Danville. We honor our own John Michael Montgomery, celebrating a birthday.
I see the questions in your eyes.
Now, Radio Rick went and saw his concert there at Rupp in December, the John Michael Montgomery, Eddie Montgomery concert. Said it was really good. Country singer had more than 30 singles on the Billboard charts, including 2 number ones. This being one of them, I Swear, along with the Grundy County auction incident in 1995. On this date, 1965, he is 61 years old today. Sorry about that, John Michael. I added 10 years to you. 61 years old today, John Michael Montgomery. Happy birthday.
I'll never break your heart. I swear by the moon and the stars in the sky.
And real quickly, it was on this day, 1979, Dolly Parton was at number 1 in the country charts with her song, Baby I'm Burning. Here it is. .6:30 in the morning, K&N News is coming your way next. That's what's gone on this date, January 20th in country music.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Governor Andy Beshear is in Europe this week on an economic development trip, traveling to Finland and Sweden.
Hey everybody, it's Andy. Brittany and I are finishing up a busy day in Helsinki. We've met with 4 companies that employ about 800 people in Kentucky and a ton more that are looking to make Kentucky their new Kentucky home.
In that same social media post, he adds he and the First Lady met with 4 companies on Monday. He's also attending the World Economic Forum in Switzerland and scheduled to speak at 2 events at the Economic Forum in Davos Wednesday, a conversation with U.S. state governors, and a press conference on closing the manufacturing talent gap in the U.S. and beyond. Meantime, Kentucky's Republican Party criticizing Beshear's trip, saying Andy Beshear is skipping town, dodging responsibility, and chasing headlines as he tries to build a national profile for a presidential campaign that's already 6 feet under. Right before Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Ku Klux Klan material found at the Kenwick neighborhood in Lexington. They were found Sunday night by a neighbor who contacted the neighborhood association president in Blake Hall the next morning. Hall's first reaction, disgust, and he believes whoever spread those papers wanted to shock people. Lexington police are aware of the flyers and ask anyone with information to call them or drop an anonymous tip via Bluegrass Crime Stoppers. The trial against the man who allegedly killed 7-year-old Rose Morgan in 2024 will be moved out of Adair County. Joel Hammock's attorneys argue that media coverage tainted the chance for a fair trial. Adair Circuit Judge Judy Vance Murphy signed the order last week. Moving it to Casey County is slated to begin February 2nd. Hammock faces charges including murder, DUI, assault, and persistent felony offender. I'm Lee Mowen.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
Start 2026 with Danville Bike and Footwear. In January, get $20 off our basic bike tune-up and $30 off our standard tune-up. Experience our expanded selection of running and trail shoes, winter running apparel, and high-performance socks. Did you know that Danville Bike and Footwear hosts group runs every Monday and Thursday evenings at 6:30? Come run with us. Take charge of the new year with a new you and visit Danville Bike and Footwear, where adventure and comfort ride together. Located in downtown Danville next to City Hall.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Mercer County Fire has named their new fire chief. David Goodlett was named the new fire chief of Mercer County. He'll assume the office formerly vacated by Chief Glenn Phillips before his passing. Goodlett himself was the district chief at Station 4 in Salviza and a member of the fire board at Mercer County Fire Protection District. Voting continues in Parade Magazine's America's Favorite Small Towns contest. Voting continues through January 21st, and those communities with the most votes this round will advance to the final round. The contest celebrates small towns that show charm, community spirit, and quality of life. Community leaders say that a win in the contest would bring national recognition for Danville. You can vote for Danville once per day, per person through tomorrow at americasfavoritesmalltowns.parade.com. A status hearing is expected today in the case against Shannon Gilday. Gilday is accused of breaking into Representative Wesley Morgan's home and shooting and killing his daughter. Gilday's team has argued that the high-profile case and media coverage has prejudiced the local jury pool and that he can't receive a fair trial in Madison County. They're asking for a change of venue. The hearing is set for 1:30 this afternoon at the Madison County Courthouse. Staying in Madison County, Kentucky State Police say they're investigating after an inmate being released from Madison County Jail died. It happened on January 2nd when Madison County Jailer Larry Brock said Dion Watts was released from jail. When he was exiting the Sally Port, he encountered Richmond police officers. Brock said Watts appeared to be in a state of paranoia and suggested that he believed the officers were going to harm him. He then re-entered the Sally Port and physically secured the exit door, which prevented anyone from getting in or out. Staff tried to de-escalate the situation, but Watts didn't comply, causing officers to use force. Watts later died, and an internal review is underway. The NAACP Richmond branch says that Watts was, quote, severely beaten, but Brock says there was, quote, no evidence to suggest that Mr. Watts was beaten or subjected to any form of abuse. Meanwhile, Richmond police say they're waiting for the investigation to be completed. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know.
At Sutton Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription, you're a neighbor. Our friendly team helps you stay healthy with quick refills, expert advice, and flu shots. Enjoy free local delivery and a convenient app to make managing your refills easy. Sutton Pharmacy, dedicated to the Lancaster community. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6.
Sutton Pharmacy, friendly service from people you know.
In Lancaster on West Maple Avenue.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's coming your way courtesy of our friends at Southern Heating and Cooling. Keep your home cozy with Southern Heating and Cooling. Your comfort's their priority. They're better known, family operated, and locally trusted. Go online, southernheatingcooling.com or call 859-324-2770 for Southern Heating and Cooling. Sunshine, a high today of 29, a low tonight of 20. Wind chills at 2 below zero. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, 43 and 30. Thursday, mostly sunny, 42. Friday, mostly cloudy and 30. Right now, it's 9 degrees. It's 1/10 of 1 degree below zero. It's negative 0.1 on this Tuesday morning, the 20th day of January. Larry Vought's got Vought's Views. What's up with you, Larry?
Vought's Views on University of Kentucky Sports is on the air. Featuring 7-time Kentucky Sports Writer of the Year, Larry Vaught.
It's really hard to believe the injuries that Kentucky basketball point guards have had the last 2 seasons. I don't know what Coach Mark Pope could do about any of the injuries, but he better find a way to change the mojo. Last year it was backup point guard Kirk Creasa that went down first with a foot injury. Then starter Lamont Butler dislocated his shoulder and had to play the rest of the year wearing a brace and in pain when he was available. If that was not enough, emergency point guard Jackson Robinson also had his season end early due to a wrist injury. This season, UK had on one true point guard, and Jalen Lowe dislocated his shoulder in the summer practice and then did it again in the blue-white game. He tried to keep playing, but 2 other times his shoulder also popped out of place before Lowe, his family, and the Kentucky officials decided he needed to go ahead and have surgery that would result in him not playing again this year.
Vaught's Views will return in a moment.
It's a brand new year. How about a brand new ride from Wildcat Chevrolet Cadis?
This is Michael Oliver. We just want to say thank you for your continued support of our business. We love helping you find the right vehicle for your needs and your budget. We have a good selection of new vehicles and probably the best selection of pre-owned vehicles in the area. We think you deserve choices when purchasing a vehicle, along with friendly people and service after the sale.
That's what you'll find at Wildcat Chevrolet Cadis and at wildcatchevrolet.com.
Kentucky coach Mark Pope and UK fans were excited when Jalen Lowe decided to transfer from Pittsburgh to Kentucky. He was going to be the elite playmaker that Pope needed to direct the offense that many thought could make UK a national championship contender. We never really saw what a healthy Lowe could do, and he never had time to fully get in sync with teammates. Hopefully, the NCAA does the right thing and grants him a medical redshirt year. That won't help UK this season, as the Cats again have had nothing but bad luck at the point guard position.
Find more from Larry at yoursportsedge.com.
Larry Von Vaught's Views Mondays through Fridays right here on the Joe Show at this time. It is 6:40 in the morning. You know, President Trump is he's making some demands to the Nobel Foundation after he was gifted a Nobel Peace Prize earlier this year. Check out this ad of what President Trump is asking the Nobel Foundation to do. The Trump Award Registry. Check it out.
Hi, folks. It's your favorite president, Donald Trump, and I'm proud to announce the newest way I'm giving back to myself. It's the Donald Trump Award Registry. Yes, not only do I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, but I deserve all of the awards. And with the Donald Trump Registry, you can sign up to give me the awards I deserve. Oh, look, the guy who runs college football just pledged to give me the Heisman Trophy. I deserve it. And look, some Hollywood big shot just gave me the Best Supporting Actor Oscar. I deserve that too. Everybody's logging on to the Donald Trump Award Registry and giving me their awards.
I just won my bowling league championship, so I went onto the Donald Trump Award Registry and gave my trophy to Trump. Hopefully this will keep him from getting too angry and starting a war with me.
Maybe it will, maybe it won't. You never know. The Donald Trump Award Registry. Give me all of your awards today.
There you go. There it is, the Trump Award Registry. It's 6:40 in the morning, 859-238-9447. Let's see what's going on in this morning's world of good. Are you tired of the gloom and doom that saturates your daily news? Well, of course you are, and I am right there with you. These stories remind us of the silver lining in the cloud over all of our heads. It's my way of sharing the good news with you, and hopefully you'll go do the same for somebody else. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up on the piano. It's Mr. Floyd Kramer for you. Here he is. Well, good news action on this Tuesday morning, and here we go. Story number one coming from England, where a 12-year-old boy in England is being recognized for safely stopping a moving car after his mother lost consciousness behind the wheel during a sudden medical episode. Zach Howells guided the vehicle into a grass verge, turned off the engine, and called emergency services with their exact location, preventing any injuries. Police recently honored him with a Chief Constable's commendation for his calm, brave, and responsible actions. Story number two coming from New Zealand, where a 66-year-old hiker in New Zealand was found alive nearly 3 weeks after going missing in the Kahurangi National Park following a solo hike. Despite being injured, Graham Garnett continued moving through the park, followed streams and ridgelines, and reached a remote shelter where he'd stayed before he was discovered. He was flown to a hospital for treatment and later reunited with his family. Police are calling the outcome an incredible and a very fortunate result. And story number 3 coming from Chicago, where a 7-year-old Illinois girl helped save her father after he fell down the stairs and hit his head, leaving him unable to get up. Mia Dates calmly called 911, secured the family dog, unlocked the door, and guided paramedics into the home, allowing them to reach her dad quickly. The father later recovered and praised his daughter's actions, crediting her mother for teaching her how to handle emergencies. The good news: a Chicago 7-year-old saves her dad after he falls on the stairs and hits his head. A missing hiker found alive after 3 weeks in a national park. And a boy saves a mom's life when she passes out behind the wheel. That's what's going on in this morning's World of Absolute Good, folks. Floyd Kramer, take us home, buddy. It's all yours. Silliness at Sunrise with a dad joke of the day, the country comic spotlight, Rick D's Planet of the Apps, and the best jokes from last night's late night TV shows are coming your way next, as well as PRN's Garage Pass.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
But Saturday's kind of what you come here for, so it's just good to be in position again on Saturday and hopefully get it done.
That's Kyle Larson after winning the A-Main in pursuit of another Chili Bowl Nationals title. Will he get to number 4 before Christopher Bell? Hi, I'm David Stiles. This is PRN's Garage Pass.
In the automotive industry, time and trust mean everything. Miss an electrical problem, and it can mean big problems for your operation. That's why Napa believes in testing the 5 critical components in every vehicle: the battery, starter, alternator, relay, and serpentine belt. And why we deliver the parts, tools, and expertise you need to catch problems before they become breakdowns. So test every vehicle and trust the name that keeps your bays busy and your business moving full speed ahead.
Never know how.
Last Saturday, over 400 midget car racers from across the world descended on Tulsa, Oklahoma to take on the 40th Chili Bowl Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drinks, where Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell are battling to join Kevin Swindell as the next competitor to win the event 4 times. Bell started out the week-long festivities by winning every event that he was entered in, including the Race of Champions, where he's running his own equipment for the first time. He said that it was very stressful, but worth it.
I've been there, done that, and now I wanted to try and do it on my own and with, a group of people that I love around me, and it's been the most rewarding thing I've done in a long time.
One would think that a natural rivalry would blossom between Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell, but Bell says the rivalry is something for the media to talk about and that winning a 4th Golden Driller is no easy task.
I mean, I don't know. It's for you guys to talk about, you guys as in the media. If he gets it before me, I'll be happy for him. I may not even ever get 4.
As fate would have it, Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell will both have to wait another year before going after that 4th Golden Driller, as Larson was wrecked out early and Christopher Bell came home in 8th place. The Young Guns stole the show, however, as 14-year-old Jet Barnes won the B main and got a shout-out on X from Ryan Blaney, and then our newly minted Chili Bowl champion, 21-year-old Emerson Axum of Franklin, Indiana. This is the biggest win of his career so far. I'm David Stiles. This is PRN's Garage Pass.
This is the kind of racing you can feel in your chest. Door to door, inches apart, every lap, all on the line. This is Echo Park Speedway, the hottest track in NASCAR. 3 days of tailgates, camping, and full throttle fun. But Sunday is chaos, speed, and glory. This February 22nd, the Auto Trader 400 takes over Atlanta. Get tickets at echoparkspeedway.com.
I'm Boyle County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom. The Boyle County EMS Crisis Response Unit is here to help, whether you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or just need to talk to someone. Our team is trained, compassionate, and ready to respond. Call the Boyle County EMS Crisis Response Unit today, 238-1134, because your mental health matters.
Boyle County EMS, every second counts, every life matters.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
All right, a little Rayleigh Joe, thanks for that. Brought to you by our friends hanging out over at Good Neighbor Pharmacy in Danville, featuring convenience stay in your car drive-through. Complete diabetes shop on Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturday, 9 to 5. Good Neighbor Pharmacy in Danville. Behind Cracker Barrel. Sunshine, a high of 29, low tonight 22 degrees below zero is your wind chill. Today's just nasty. Tomorrow, cloudy, 43 is the high, 30 is the low, 50-50 chance of rain tomorrow. Thursday, sunny and 42, and Friday, mostly cloudy and 30 is your high. Right now, it is 9 degrees. Wind chill is below zero right now on this Tuesday, the 20th day of January. 100% hilarious. So bad they're good. Warning, these may make you cringe. It's time for everyone's 6th favorite segment on the Joe Show every single morning. We call this the Dad Joke of the Day. Here it is.
Dad Joke of the Day.
All right, Dad Joke of the Day. Why does Peter Pan always fly? Why does Peter Pan always fly? Why does Peter Pan always fly? Because he can never land. There you go. I'll be here for the next 3 hours. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got more jokes just like that coming up. He can never land.
Welcome to the planet of the apps. Oh, look at this. If your family is as unorganized as ours is, you gotta get this app. It will get everybody on the same page or screen, if you will. It's an app called Cozy, C-O-Z-I. And this is a family planning calendar that lets everybody input and view anytime from any phone, anywhere. All you do is put in what you're doing, at least what you want your family to know you're doing. And in the palm of everybody's hand, they know what the plan is, so to speak. It's an app that's full of features like alerts for any event. So if somebody forgets to, walk the dog or take out the trash or go to a kid's play or whatever, everybody knows. Shopping lists can be included. A family journal. Once again, it's called Cozy, and it organizes the entire family. C-O-Z-I. It's free. Rick D's in this molten magma every day, known as the Planet of the Apps.
There you go, Rick D's, the Planet of the Apps, Mondays through Fridays right here on The Joe Show. At this time, leads us into the Country Comic Spotlight, where Tim Hawkins is in the spotlight this morning, singing a song called The Dog's on Fire. Here's Tim Hawkins.
Hey, little girl, don't you get upset. I got some bad news, better call the vet. Oh no, as the flames go higher. Oh, the dog's on fire. Yeah, we gotta look on the bright side now. We'll save a lot of money on puppy chow, oh yeah. I'm not a liar. Oh, the dog's on fire. You know that I always thought he was a good little fellow. Now run to the store, get a bag of marshmallows. Okay, a lot of you missed that. That's real funny. Come on, people, get with it. I don't have cue cards tonight. We will take these cameras down. You come on, get with it. That dog cost me about $100. Now all that's left is a 10-cent collar. Oh, no. I'm starting to perspire. Oh, the dog's on fire. Oh, the dog's on fire. Oh, everybody! Oh, it's going to be a good night. Thank you. Yeah.
We go Tim Hawkins, the Country Comic Spotlight. Rick Dees and the Planet of the Apps Dad Joke of the Day leads us into this morning's best jokes from last night's late night shows. Jimmy Fallon starting us off on the Tonight Show last night, talking about President Trump's fake Nobel Peace Prize, is what Jimmy Fallon says.
Meanwhile, the Nobel Committee said that the award still belongs to the original winner, even if they give away the medal or the prize money. Trump heard and was like, wait, there's prize money? Oh, Maria!
Jimmy also joking about President Trump telling Norway's prime minister he's mad about the Nobel Peace Prize, so he wants to take over Greenland. That's why he's doing it.
Now, everyone's talking about this. Over the weekend, Trump texted Norway's prime minister that one of the reasons he's trying to take over Greenland is that he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize. Oh. Then a little bit later, Trump said he's taking over Venezuela because he didn't win a Latin Grammy. That's right. He's mad.
Seth Meyers joking about President Trump's Nobel Peace Prize as well yesterday on the late night with Seth Meyers on NBC.
While speaking to reporters last week, President Trump said that Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado gave him her Nobel Peace Prize and told him, quote, "You've ended 8 wars and nobody deserves this prize more." All right, that sounds like something you said. Not her. What else did she say? Mr. President, the 2020 election was stolen from you, and you're looking a lot better in person.
Seth Meyers also joking about President Trump attending the College Football National Championship game last night.
President Trump was set to attend the College Football National Championship game today between Miami and Indiana, a game that will decide which of the 2 teams will one day be forced to give him their national championship trophy.
Still on us at Sunrise, Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, Tim Hawkins, Rick Dees, and this morning's Planet of the Apps. We have them Mondays through Fridays right here on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. We're back after this in 1 minute.
When it comes to your money, there's a lot to think about. Paying bills, setting a family budget, and retirement. Farmers National Bank cares about your financial well-being and is here to help. Visit the bank's website at fnbky.com to check out their financial wellness section with short videos on budgeting, saving, paying off debt, and more. You can also stop into a branch or call to ask the bank's financial professionals for advice. Farmers National Bank, your lifetime bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Thinking about buying a home, starting a business, or tackling a renovation? Whitaker Bank is here to help you make it happen. This is Ronald Howard. I'm a loan officer at Whitaker Bank in Danville. We understand that every financial decision is personal. That's why we offer local expertise and reliable service. Let's find the right solution for you. Call me at 859-236-9822 today, and let's take the next step together. Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask to play our call letters. WHIR.
.57 in the morning, Tuesday, the 20th day of January, just a tick under 10 degrees. I mentioned it's National Penguin Day today. I did not realize today is January 20th, also National Disc Jockey Day. Now, there are lots of dumb made-up holidays like Squirrel Appreciation Day, which is tomorrow, but some holidays do deserve to exist. Of course, National Disc Jockey Day is one of those. It is January 20th every year. Now, the question is, do you know why it's January 20th? I mean, I didn't know it was even today, so maybe you don't. And that's fine. It's because one of the original disc jockeys, Alan Freed, he was nicknamed the Moondog on radio. He passed away 61 years ago today, back in 1965. He helped popularize the term rock and roll in the 1950s, and he was one of the first people ever inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1986. Now, it's easy to celebrate this holiday today. Just take a moment to pause, reflect, and appreciate the radio. And nothing is stopping you from whipping out your phone and Venmoing me some cash that you've been squirreling away to. I'll take that as well. Do it now. Don't save it for Squirrel Appreciation Day. But in all seriousness, today apparently is National Disc Jockey Day, National DJ Day. And we appreciate you celebrating with us right here on The Joe Show. 859-238-WHIR. Mention National Penguin Day or Penguin Awareness Day. It is also today National Cheese Lovers Day. Let's all have a good time and be happy because today is the day to celebrate our love for cheese. You can go pick up any of the world's 900 known cheeses. Or if you're looking for an adventure, maybe one of the unknown cheeses. If you're down in the dumps, America's favorite comfort dish is macaroni and cheese, guaranteed to make you feel fatter. However, the 60% of adults who experience lactose intolerance are probably pretty blue, as in blue cheese. Today, National Cheese Lovers Day, National Penguin Awareness Day, and National Disc Jockey Day. Celebrate all that accordingly right here on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. We're an hour in. We've got 3 hours to go right here on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. News is coming up.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 7 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump is heading to Switzerland today for the World Economic Forum in Davos, with the dispute over Greenland looming large. Asked by reporters last night about how he plans to handle in-person pushback from European allies, Trump said he's not anticipating any major problems.
Well, I don't think they're going to push back too much. Look, we have to have it. They have to have this done.
Trump has threatened tariffs on allies that oppose his Greenland plans, and the EU is considering retaliatory tariffs. The issue may distract from security agreements for Ukraine, originally thought to be Trump's main contribution at Davos this year. A first-time national champion has been crowned. The Hoosiers took down the Hurricanes 27-21 in the college football playoff title game from Miami. Top-ranked Indiana finished with a perfect 16-0 season as number 10 ended the year 13-3. The Justice Department has launched a criminal investigation after protesters interrupted a service at a Minnesota church. Sunday's protest gained traction on social media with claims that the pastor at city's church heads the local ICE office. DOJ Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon posted on X that the protesters will be investigated for civil rights violations, including desecrating a house of worship. This, as NBC News reports, U.S. troops could be heading there. In Minnesota, Heidi Wigdahl.
The officials who spoke under the condition of anonymity said it's 2 infantry battalions of the Army's 11th Airborne Division. The unit, known as the Arctic Angels, is based in Alaska, and its specialty is operating in Arctic conditions.
Dow futures are signaling big losses after President Trump threatens new tariffs over Greenland. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions for free. Call now and find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. Call 800-340-5510. I'm here with spokesman John Wolf. So, John, tell everyone listening who should call right now.
Well, Maria, first off, thank you for having me here. It's always nice to answer the listeners' questions. Now, as far as who should call in, anyone who's been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, give us a call right now. 800-340-5510. You'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, John. You heard it, folks. Take advantage of this opportunity and call now. 800-340-5510.
Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center, may not be available in all states.
It's day 2 of Prince Harry in court against the publisher of the Daily Mail, accused of breaking the law to gather information. Claudio Lavanga with more.
What they are claiming is that between 1993 to 2011, 2 major British newspapers, the Mail on Sunday and the Daily Mail, hired private investigators to unlawfully target them, to tap their phones, and also obtain financial and medical information through deception.
The British royal, who's set to testify tomorrow in the UK, is joined by other claimants like Elton John and Liz Hurley. Italian fashion designer and founder of the Valentino brand, Valentino Garavani, has died at 93. Kirk Gregory has more on his legacy of dressing some of the world's most famous and photographed women.
Over the decades, a Valentino gown became recognizable for strong colors and a flattering cut.
Has not a very wide shoulder, but just to keep it up a little bit, that makes the silhouette looking longer and longer, you know?
His death was announced on his social media platforms on Monday. Valentino passed away at his Roman residence and was surrounded by his loved ones. Throughout his career, he worked with celebrities such as Jennifer Aniston, Anne Hathaway, Nicole Kidman, and more. A new option will be available for travelers who aren't Real ID compliant. More from Matt Mattinson.
TSA Confirm ID will roll out an optional process on February 1st seeking biographic and or biometric information to confirm a traveler's identity and that they are not on a secure flight watch list. The agency recommends completing the process before arriving at the airport, and there will be a $45 fee meant to cover verification of an insufficient ID. Travelers have been warned since May that they'll need what's known as a Real ID or another approved form of identification to board a domestic plane.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Ready to remodel your home with new kitchen, bath, or lighting, but costs are holding you back? Good news. The Big Deal Store and HometownLive.mat can help you get started with your remodeling dreams. You can now save money on gift certificates to Lux 218 in Danville. You're a new headquarters for luxury remodeling for less. They have a wonderful showroom of ideas to kickstart your home remodeling job this year. Don't let price hold you back. Get true luxury for less at Lux 218 and then get extra savings by buying gift certificates at the Big Deal Store. You can get $100 for half price when you buy 5 or more. So get $1,000 for just $500. For all the details, visit the Big Deal Store and HometownLive.mat. Remodeling just got easier and so much more affordable when you team up with Lux 218 and the Big Deal Store.
Fred Sizemore, General Manager at Stuart Powell Ford Mazda. We are the #1 volume retail dealer in Central Kentucky and the fastest growing Mazda dealer in the state of Kentucky. Our people make a difference and we make it easy. Stop by and see for yourself how car buying should be. 225 South Danville Bypass or online at StuartPowell.com.
All right, here we go. It's a good morning to you. Tuesday, the 20th day of January. On this Tuesday morning, sunshine is expected later on, but it's going to be nasty cold. 29 the high, 2 below zero and chills today. Forecast coming your way. News comes up here as well, brought to you by Stuart Powell Ford Mazda. Just heard from them. And then we'll hear from Boyle County State Rep Daniel Elliott coming up after this.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
Mercer County Fire has named their new fire chief. David Goodlett was named the new fire chief of Mercer County. He'll assume the office formerly vacated by Chief Glenn Phillips before his passing. Goodlett himself was the district chief at Station 4 in Salviza and a member of the fire board at Mercer County Fire Protection District. Voting continues in Parade Magazine's America's Favorite Small Towns contest. Voting continues through January 21st, and those communities with the most votes this round will advance to the final round. The contest celebrates small towns that show charm, community spirit, and quality of life. Community leaders say that a win in the contest would bring national recognition for Danville. You can vote for Danville once per day, per person through tomorrow at americasfavoritesmalltowns.parade.com. A status hearing is expected today in the case against Shannon Gilday. Gilday is accused of breaking into Representative Wesley Morgan's home and shooting and killing his daughter. Gilday's team has argued that the high-profile case and media coverage has prejudiced the local jury pool and that he can't receive a fair trial in Madison County. They're asking for a change of venue. The hearing is set for 1:30 this afternoon at the Madison County Courthouse. Staying in Madison County, Kentucky State Police say they're investigating after an inmate being released from Madison County Jail died. It happened on January 2nd when Madison County Jailer Larry Brock said Dion Watts was released from jail. When he was exiting the Sally Port, he encountered Richmond police officers. Brock said Watts appeared to be in a state of paranoia and suggested that he believed the officers were going to harm him. He then re-entered the Sally Port and physically secured the exit door, which prevented anyone from getting in or out. Staff tried to de-escalate the situation, but Watts didn't comply, causing officers to use force. Watts later died, and an internal review is underway. The NAACP Richmond branch says that Watts was, quote, severely beaten, but Brock says there was, quote, no evidence to suggest that Mr. Watts was beaten or subjected to any form of abuse. Meanwhile, Richmond police say they're waiting for the investigation to be completed. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
This morning's local news was a service of Stuart Powell Ford Mazda on the bypass in Danville and online at stuartpowell.com.
Going out of town or anywhere in the world? Stay in touch with WHIR on the internet at hometownlive.net. Powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, president of Leaf Filter, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
All right, little Rayleigh Joe, thanks for that. Brought to you by our friends and out of the Big Deals online store, hometownlive.net. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses at big-time discounts, up to 50% every single day. The Big Deals online store, hometownlive.net. All right, sunshine, a high of 29, a low tonight 22 degrees below zero is the wind chill. Tomorrow, 50-50 chance of rain, mostly cloudy, high of 43. And on Thursday, mostly sunny and 42 is your high. It's 7:11 in the morning right now. It's 8 degrees, wind chill at 1.5 below zero now. And we welcome on to the show. We'll talk with him every Monday through Friday at 7:10 during the legislative session. It's our state rep, Daniel Elliott. Good morning, Daniel. How are you?
Good morning, Joe. I'm doing well. Happy New Year.
Yeah, appreciate you being on here, Daniel. Happy New Year to you as well, Daniel. And we live in a world where anything is possible, Daniel. The Indiana Hoosiers are national football champions. So if they can do it, Daniel, we can accomplish anything we set our mind to.
Yeah, that was quite a remarkable story. And their coach actually said that last night, didn't he? He said if you put your nose down and work hard, anything is possible.
Well, I had to turn it off in the third quarter. I had to turn it on. I was too tired. I had to go to bed. It was getting too late for me. So I didn't know he said that. So I just quoted Signetti without knowing that I quoted Signetti.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. And wow, what a story. What a story. And to do it in 2 years is remarkable.
Yeah.
I was actually in Indianapolis, I guess, the year before he became their coach, and watched a game between Indiana and Louisville, and Indiana was not very good.
Just 2 years ago, they were not very good.
And I was happy that they weren't on the Louisville schedule. So
Yeah. Well, they're 27-2 in their 29 games under Coach Signetti. So they're doing great things. Daniel, we're going.
And I last night, just as a football nerd that I am, I had to look at the ESPN too early top 25 poll for next season.
Yeah.
And they had Indiana ranked number 1.
Did they? Okay. I saw a ranking earlier today. This was the On 30 Sports ranking that had Indiana at 5. They had Ohio State at number 1 next year. But I would think Indiana, they're going to be up there for favorites to win again. So it's just a remarkable story. The Hoosiers, who were just. It was easy to dog walk them every single year in football, and now here they are with a national championship. It's highly unlikely, but it did happen. And Daniel, we're happy to have you on the air as well. I just had failed to text Daniel and say, hey, do you want to be on? And so it finally came to me yesterday. Let's get Daniel Elliott back on the air. And Daniel, we are now about 2 weeks, I guess 2 weeks from today, 2 weeks ago today, you all gavelled into session. Tell us what you all have been working on there in Frankfort, Daniel, and have any bills been passed yet?
Well, we're on our, I guess, 11th day today, but we have not passed any bills through the House. The Senate has passed Senate Bill 7, which has gotten a lot of press coverage related to driver's licensing at the local level, which, changed a few years ago with Real ID and the regional offices. It did pass the Senate. Now it's in the House Transportation Committee, but it would allow, it's not mandatory, but it would allow the sheriff, county clerk, or the circuit clerk in a county where there isn't a driver's licensing office to offer driver's licensing renewals.
Okay. So I assume then that would not apply to Boyle County since we have a regional office here. Okay.
That's correct. And it would be, if an additional fee, it would only apply to renewals, which most renewals can, already be done online. I think all of them can, actually.
Right.
At least the first one. And then I think there's a requirement that you get a new photo. And so that's already. The renewal process isn't necessarily the problem. It's the initial licensing for Real ID. I think that's become a big issue. But when you talk to constituents, they have they've had some interesting interactions with regional offices, which I think has caused the Senate to look at what they're doing. We have a couple of bills on the House side that are a little different than what the Senate did. So I anticipate probably something will be done. I don't know what the final version of it will be. The governor has said, he does not want to return licensing to the local governments or to the local offices. So
yeah.
That's a challenge, I think, because the transportation cabinet is part of the executive branch. So that's his opposition to it, I think, has been a challenge.
Yeah. So that's Senate Bill 7. On the House side of things, Daniel, when do you all expect to start looking at and passing bills? I know you're in committee meetings now, but when are you all going to start passing bills?
Yeah, I would say probably today.
Okay.
There was a bill on pre-authorization issues related to health care, and that had a fairly high House number. I think it was, I forget the exact number, it may have been House Bill 3. And that's been, an issue for years with doctors and patients and trying to smooth out that process for, getting authorization to go to a specialist or whatever. So that could come up today, but definitely this week. And, committees will be meeting this week. But we have a lot of time, so there's obviously no need to rush anything through when you have a 60-day session.
Yeah, with Boyle and Casey County State Rep Daniel Elliott. Daniel, people have any questions for you and want to get in touch with you, have any questions about any legislation or something of that nature, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can email me, daniel.elliott@aylegislature.gov, which is a really long email. And, of course, they can call, and that's 502-564-8100.
There you go. Daniel Elliott, Boyle and Casey County State Rep. We'll talk with Daniel Mondays through Fridays at 7:10 right here on WHIR. Daniel, appreciate you being on, and we'll talk to you tomorrow morning, okay?
Thanks, Joe.
All right, Daniel, you too. Bye. Daniel Elliott, our Boyle and Casey County State Rep. There's going to be a lot of discussion to talk about as we head throughout this legislative session. Again, Daniel said they have not passed any bills on the House side, but maybe today, the first day could be today where they start passing legislation, and we'll be talking about that, especially that legislation that catches people's eyes. I mean, they pass a ton of legislation that is just like ho-hum, to be honest about it. It's like whatever. But then there's those certain bills they pass, maybe more along partisan lines that is more newsworthy. So Daniel will talk about that throughout this session right here on The Joe Show on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. Speaking of sports, we got an update with K&N standing in for the Big Daddy. And then we're talking Danville basketball with Tristan Ford coming up next.
Hey, this is Jack Mathis. I love sports, and this is Sport with the Big Daddy, Steve Beauchamp. Brought to you by Stuart Powell Mazda.
It's all about you and Stuart Powell.
Fred Sizemore, General Manager at Stuart Powell Ford Mazda. We are the #1 volume retail dealer in Central Kentucky and the fastest growing Mazda dealer in the state of Kentucky. Our people make a difference, and we make it easy. Stop by and see for yourself how car buying should be. 225 South Danville Bypass or online at stuartpowell.com.
Because we know how. It's an easy thing to do in Danville. Stuart Powell Ford Mazda.
Well, happy Tuesday. I'm Scott Fitzgerald. Let's talk sports here on the Kentucky News Network. College football's national championship is heading to Bloomington for the first time ever.
Mendoza ready to take the snap. He takes it. He looks. He throws the football. And he runs it. No, he runs it. And he ties for the end zone. Does he get it in? Touchdown! Fernando Mendoza runs the football and scores.
Fernando Mendoza drove for a key rushing touchdown to make it a 2-score game in the fourth quarter. The Hoosiers take down the Miami Hurricanes 27-21 in the playoff title game from Miami. Top-ranked Indiana finishes a perfect 16-0. Back here in the Commonwealth, new Kentucky coach Will Stein met with the media yesterday at Kroger Field, offering a detailed look at his first roster and staff in Lexington. Stein emphasized building the team the right way, noting the importance of keeping commitments to Kentucky's high school class while reshaping the roster through the transfer portal.
The best way that we're going to move forward is really starting inside the state of Kentucky. It has to. I mean, in this next class, there's a lot of really good talent in the state right now, a lot. And when I've seen Kentucky at its best, it's homegrown talent. That's where you got to start. And then you look at really the 5-6 hour radius, around us: Nashville, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit, even going to Charlotte, Atlanta. Like, those are the cities that you really want to hone in on, even St. Louis.
Staying with the Cats after 3 straight comeback wins, Kentucky received 27 votes in this week's AP Top 25 while receiving 5 votes in this week's Coaches Poll. Kentucky back at it tomorrow when Sean Miller and Texas drop in Rupp Arena. The Horns survive winners of 2 of their last 3 to include an upset of then number 10 Vanderbilt and then 13th ranked Alabama. And the Bengals could be facing another offseason shakeup on offense. Cincinnati allowing offensive coordinator Dan Pitcher to interview for the Buccaneers head coaching job. And the Tennessee Titans have found their new coach. According to ESPN, they're going to hire former Jets coach Robert Saleh. I'm Scott Fitzgerald.
This is Deanna Charles with the Danville H&R Block. Did you know that at H&R Block we have upfront transparent pricing, which
which means we can tell you our fee before we even begin your taxes. Plus, with our refund transfer, you can file with no money out of pocket. Just simply withhold the fees from your refund. It can't get easier than that. Come see us at our new location in Danville at 101 Citation Drive across from Boyle County Schools, where walk-ins are always welcome, or give us a call at 859-236-3281 to schedule an appointment. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations and bank fees apply. See hrblock.com for details.
In the heart of Harrodsburg, Kentucky, Mercer Stone Company is shaping driveways and dreams. Supplying quality stone with local dedication, these folks know a thing or two about building from the ground up. With friendly service and a commitment to getting your project done right, you'll find the materials and know-how you need. And lay the foundation for your next great project with Mercer Stone Company today. We will rock you.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
All right, little Rayleigh, appreciate that. Brought to you by our friends hanging out over at Dexter and Right by Our Insurance, your local independent insurance agency. They proudly represent the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Ask if auto owners make sense for you. Calling Mark or Chris for a free quote, 859-236-6686. Sunshine, a high today, 29, a low at 20. Wind chills at 2 below zero. As the low today. Tomorrow, 50-50 chance of some precipitation. Mostly cloudy, 43 is the high. Thursday, mostly sunny, and 42 is the high. At 7:23 in the morning, 8 degrees. Wind chill is at 1.5 below zero right now. And we welcome on to the show the head basketball coach of the Danville Admirals, Tristan Ford. Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, Coach. Doing great. Appreciate you being on here this morning and joining us talking Danville basketball Tuesday mornings at 7:20. Again, for those who listen to the morning show, and typically we have the coaches on at 7:10. We have pushed those interviews back now to 7:20 in the morning. So, Coach, we appreciate you joining us, and it was a fun night Friday night there at Danville High School. There was a lot of hubbub around the game. First of all, Coach, with multiple Division I college football coaches in attendance. Now, were you aware it was going to be that way before tip-off? Did you know how many coaches were coming?
No, I actually personally found out right before tip-off, right at the end of the girls' game. One of my coaches came up to me and was mentioning Jason Witten, knowing that I'm a Cowboys fan, and like the name, I was like, Jason Witten. And then it clicked to me eventually. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yes, yeah, the Louisville coach is there. Obviously, Jason Witten, Will Stein, UK's head football coach, new coach was there as well. And Coach, you all put on a show for him. It was a good one, 53-50. Your Admirals won it over Boyle County. Let's talk about some of the individual performances in that game on Friday night, Coach. First of all, when you needed points in the first half, you gave it to Landon Reed, and Landon has seemingly had an answer all year long for you, Coach, and he kept you in that game in that first half.
Yeah, Landon's been playing consistent. You know, he can slither through the paint. He can finish in a variety of ways. He's been shooting the ball really well. Like right now, he's shooting 50 from 2, 40 from 3. So can't really complain about anything he's doing. He's been having it going for a little while now.
Yeah, and then in the third quarter, Jacaven Walker caught fire for you. And I think you had mentioned in one of our previous conversations that you thought Jacaven was one of the better defenders in the 12th region, and he can score as well. And, Coach, he hit 3 threes in the third quarter, hit another one in the fourth. Tell us about how big that was, that stretch of basketball Jacaven Walker played in the second half.
Yeah, I always super confident in his defensive abilities. I mean, some of the things he can do on the defensive end, I'm still amazed by. But offensively, that's one thing we've been working on is just like his confidence. Last season, I don't think he played very confident offensively, so we've been working on that a lot and just talking about that, just trying to stay consistent with that. And yeah, I mean, I think even in the first half of that game, he wasn't really playing confident. He was passing up on shots that he should have shot. So we just talked about that at halftime. And, you know, if you're open, just shoot it with confidence. And he's seen a couple go through in the third. And yeah, once he's seen the first two go in, I think that helped.
Coach, tell us about the end of the game where you all had really struggled from the free throw line. And there was at one point, I think Landon was 0 for 7 from the free throw line. And like I said, a guy who can shoot it really well, 40% from three-point range, then stepped up the free throw line and couldn't hit anything. And then He sinks 6 in a row at the end of the game after missing his first 7. Tell us what that's like as a shooter to feel like whenever you throw in or you throw up, anywhere else goes in, then you get to the free throw line and you can't hit it, and then to get kind of past that mental block. And he was ice water after that.
Yeah, I think that goes to just one thing, like our conversations with the team. I think I said last week on the radio that we've had struggles from the free throw line, and anyone that's paying attention to our team can clearly see that. So that's just a thing that we've been talking about. So I think it's in all of my players' heads right now. It's just the free throw woes that we're having. Landon is at the top of the charts for us, so like it was unexpected for him to miss those first 6. Through the first 4, I even told his dad. I didn't really say anything to him because I kind of thought that he could get through it on his own. But like after the first 4, like kind of made eye contact, and after that, he like you said, he sunk his last 6. But that's just something that we have to fix as a team moving forward if we want to win down the stretch in these big games.
Yeah, how big was that win for you all, Coach? I mean, you could tell, like it had been 9 straight that Boyle had won. 2021 was the last time Danville had beaten Boyle County. To end that streak and to get a win over your crosstown rival, how big was that for you as head coach, and then, for the team as well, for the kids who have never beaten Boyle County, and then they get it done?
I mean, for me, I feel like it's normal. I think it's great for the kids. The excitement that I had and still have is solely for them to experience this. I mean, I've done this my entire life to a point, different times as a player, coaching girls or whatever the case may be. I've beaten them. So, for me, it's fun, it's exciting just as the rivalry, but it's the experience for the kids to get to experience that, to have those so-called bragging rights, if that's still a thing within the community. Within their peers, but just to experience that in front of their peers, the home crowd and the community, I think it's good for our school.
Yeah, and now, Coach, there's a kind of a jumbled up mess in the district standings, right? I mean, DCA's 3-0, so they're at the top, but you got multiple teams with 1 win, 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 loss, things like that. And so it's kind of for you all go out and take care of business and see what happens. And that starts tonight against Garrett County at Garrett. Tell us what you know about this Golden Lion team and head coach Casey McCrae.
Yeah, the district is pretty wild. Consecutive years. I think it's always going to be like this. But Garrett County, they play tough. They play hard. They're well coached. I mean, this is year in, year out. Casey always has his guys ready to go. It's always tougher to beat them there as well. It's just be a tough road test. Talk to the guys about being on that high, winning a game against Boyle County, and kind of trying to still ride that, but just understand this will be a different environment. It won't be our gym, different team, different environment. So I think it'll be fun to see if we can go win another big game, but this time on the road, because like I said, that's one thing that we've been talking about all season.
And do you feel like this Garrett County team is a lot better than what their record shows? They're 6-13. But the number of single-digit losses they have, they lost by 2 to a good Wayne County team, by 1 to Somerset Christian, by 4 to West Chessman, by 5 to Nelson County, by 3 to Anderson County. I mean, the list goes on and on. Just lost by 5 last week to Somerset, 8 to Boyle County, 48-40. So this is a team, Coach, that, they could easily maybe have that record flip. Maybe not necessarily 13-6, but certainly around the 500 mark, if not over 500.
Yeah, for sure. That's again a thing that we've talked about. Just yesterday specifically. I won't say that we've been talking about it for a while, but just yesterday, in our pregame practice, we talked about that. It's just you can't overlook them. You can't look at their record and be like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, or they lost to this team and we didn't, or whatever the case may be. Because on any given night they can beat us, and on any given night I feel like they can beat anyone. Like you said, they've played the top teams in the region, played them tough with Somerset and Wayne and teams like that. So I think they've shown their capabilities. They just have to get more consistent. But like I said, on any given night, they've shown that they can put a team out on the floor that can beat you.
Danville head coach Tristan Ford. It is at Garrett County tonight. We'll have the play-by-play call on our sister station, Z105, WRNZ FM, for Garrett County in Danville. Coach, appreciate you being on. Good luck tonight, and we'll talk to you again next Tuesday. And I don't have the call tonight, but I'll be there. I think it's next week when you'll have a couple of district games. Next Tuesday you host Garrett, and next Friday DCA. So we'll see you then. Okay.
Okay, I'll see you.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it. Bye. That's
Yeah, no problem.
Danville head coach Tristan Ford. Admirals right now at 7-8, just a game below the 500 mark, but can get back to 500 with a win tonight at Garrett County. It's a girl-boy doubleheader tonight, 6 o'clock for the girls' game, and the boys' game follows. And Eric will have the play-by-play call live from Lancaster tonight on Z105. It is 7:32 in the morning, and we're happy to have you aboard the Joe Show. We are back right after this. We're going to see what's going on with the County Agent's Corner. Tyler Miller calls in here next.
It's time to save at Bob Allen Nissan. Save thousands on Bob Allen's selection of new 26 Nissan Pathfinders. 0% financing is available. And take advantage of extended terms. Model 22615. Bob Allen Nissan on Maple Avenue in Danville, or shop online anytime at boballenmotormall.com. It's time to save on new Nissan Pathfinders at Bob Allen Nissan. We are Danville's deal maker.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
Mercer County Fire has named their new fire chief. David Goodlett was named the new fire chief of Mercer County. He'll assume the office formerly vacated by Chief Glenn Phillips before his passing. Goodlett himself was the district chief at Station 4 in Salviza and a member of the fire board at Mercer County Fire Protection District. Voting continues in Parade Magazine's America's Favorite Small Towns contest. Voting continues through January 21st, and those communities with the most votes this round will advance to the final round. The contest celebrates small towns that show charm, community spirit, and quality of life. Community leaders say that a win in the contest would bring national recognition for Danville. You can vote for Danville once per day, per person through tomorrow at americasfavoritesmalltowns.parade.com. A status hearing is expected today in the case against Shannon Gilday. Gilday is accused of breaking into Representative Wesley Morgan's home and shooting and killing his daughter. Gilday's team has argued that the high-profile case and media coverage has prejudiced the local jury pool and that he can't receive a fair trial in Madison County. They're asking for a change of venue. The hearing is set for 1:30 this afternoon at the Madison County Courthouse. Staying in Madison County, Kentucky State Police say they're investigating after an inmate being released from Madison County Jail died. It happened on January 2nd when Madison County Jailer Larry Brock said Dion Watts was released from jail. When he was exiting the Sally Port, he encountered Richmond police officers. Brock said Watts appeared to be in a state of paranoia and suggested that he believed the officers were going to harm him. He then re-entered the Sally Port and physically secured the exit door, which prevented anyone from getting in or out. Staff tried to de-escalate the situation, but Watts didn't comply, causing officers to use force. Watts later died, and an internal review is underway. The NAACP Richmond branch says that Watts was, quote, severely beaten, but Brock says there was, quote, no evidence to suggest that Mr. Watts was beaten or subjected to any form of abuse. Meanwhile, Richmond police say they're waiting for the investigation to be completed. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
As prescription costs rise, many Medicare beneficiaries are having difficulty keeping up. If you or someone you know is finding it difficult to pay for prescriptions, the Kentucky Department for Aging and Independent Living State Health Insurance Assistance Program may be able to help. SHIP counselors can guide you to money-saving prescription assistance programs, including a program that helps pay for Medicare Part D plan costs for limited-income seniors. For more information, call 1-877-293-7447.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
All right, Little Rayleigh Joe, thanks for that. Brought to you by our friends hanging out over at Campbell Auto Body Shop. Top of the line collision, auto body repair. Head to the mechanics over at Danville Auto Body Shop, 315 Dillahay. Get a free estimate, and they work with your insurance company, fixing water leaks, window motor repairs, hail damage, and paintless dent repair. Danville Auto Body Shop. Sunshine, a high of 30, a low tonight of 20. Tomorrow, a 50-50 chance of rain, mostly cloudy, 43 is the high. On Thursday, sunny and 42. Friday, mostly cloudy and a high of 30. Right now, it's 7:37 in the morning. It's 8 degrees. Wind chill is at -1 just about. I mean, not quite. That was just at -1.5. Now it's at -0.6. So we're almost at -1. Does it matter? It's cold regardless. Right now, 7:37, Tyler Miller joins us here on the County Agent's Corner. Good morning, Tyler. How are you?
Hey, Joe. I'm good this morning, and been out and fed some calves, and I like the cold weather. It's ground's hard, it's froze up, and I'd rather have this over 30 degrees and a wet rain. And it makes it easier on the livestock and better to feed in, and you don't have the mud and the mess that we've had before. So it's cold, but the animals are fine. They stay dry like this. They don't mind it a bit.
So the cows are just out there cowing.
The cows are cowing. That's right.
They don't care. They're just hanging out. But surely they're a little cold, right? You don't think a cow's cold and 2 below zero wind chills?
There might be some. If a calf was born, and it's awful cold on a little calf. But no, they're fine. They're in good shape, and they got a long hair coat, and as long as you keep them fed and keep the nutrition up,
okay,
they're gonna be just fine. They're built for this weather, no, they're not cold. Every now and then you'll see one. If you want to see a cold cow, you'll see one humped up. Its back, it'll be all humped up, that's kind of a sign that you've got a one that's cold. But
and then you bring him in the barn.
You can bring them in the barn if you want. You can get them out of the wind, some form of fashion, or whatever you need to do. But I had none that was humped up. So
there you go. Tyler's doing his thing. The County Agent's Corner, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market, and here we go.
Got the top price for your livestock? Take them to the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, where they have drop-off hours to fit the busy farmer's needs. Selling your livestock a profitable and a pleasant experience. Save the hassle of a long haul. Sell your livestock at the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, 277 Courtier Road in Stanford. Call Bluegrass South Livestock Market at 606-365-0665. Bluegrass South Livestock Market in Stanford.
Here's Tyler Miller.
All right. Well, welcome back, and appreciate you guys having me on with you all this week. But today I want to talk about the couple of opportunities this week. Tonight, actually, is our area forage meeting. This is the efforts between Boyle, Garrett, Lincoln, and Mercer counties. And this kind of starts our meetings that we're going to do together this winter. And we've got a meal. Starts at 6 o'clock at Boyle County. This meeting is cost-share qualified. If you need an in-person education event, come on out and make sure you sign up. And also, we're going to be able to count this for 1 hour of commercial pesticide applicator CEUs. And so if you need one of those, you'll get an hour out of this meeting. But we'll be talking about pasture recovery and drought, and also forage-related disorders and some hay and pasture weed control. So we've got a good topic that starts tonight. And don't forget that Thursday night will be our area grain meeting. So if you got any interest in grain or farm some grain, then come out and be with us. And it'll be kind of a similar setup at Boyle County. Starts at 6 o'clock with the meal. And that's your County Agent's Corner. God bless.
There you go. Tyler Miller giving us this morning's County Agent's Corner, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market. All right, Tyler, before you go, some random facts that you may not know, but I want you to know, so I'm going to let you know. Tyler, are you ready?
I'm ready to hear it.
All right, here we go. Fact number 1, Tyler. The planet Uranus, also pronounced Uranus, was originally named Herschel. He gave it a human name, Herschel. That's because it was discovered by a guy named William Herschel. He was an astronomer in 1781. Several names were proposed in the decades after that, but it wasn't until the mid-1800s that there was a consensus to call it Uranus or Uranus after the Greek god of the sky and the heavens. So what do you think, Tyler? What do you like better, name-wise? Uranus or Herschel?
The Herschel. Yeah, I named it Herschel.
If we called it Herschel, at least we wouldn't have to give it a different pronunciation so that we don't say the original way because it makes us laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like Herschel's just Herschel. But I call it Uranus. And then every time someone hears me say that, they say, why don't you say Uranus? And then we all giggle, right? So it's like we should have just called it Herschel to begin with.
Yeah. The 5th grade me would have went with Uranus. But I do Herschel's.
Yeah, we just look at Herschel up there in the sky hanging out. All right, number 2. When someone is in the dark for a long period of time, their sleep schedule adjusts. So it's more like a 48-hour period. They're awake for 36 hours. They then sleep for 12 hours. Scientists have no idea why that happens.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 36 hours awake, 12 hours of sleep, 48-hour periods when someone is exposed to the dark for a long period of time. Number 3, Tyler. Yesterday, I had 3 double-stuffed Oreos.
Ooh.
They were good. That means I had 6 times the amount of cream from a regular Oreo, because 2 times 3 is 6. If the math that way, but it doesn't. Double-stuffed Oreos actually only contain 1.86 times as much cream as regular Oreos, not actually double the amount.
Oh, yeah, they got you.
You let somebody get a hold of that, that's a class action lawsuit waiting to happen. Yeah. And number 4, Louis the 19th, I guess I should say, only served as the King of France for 20 minutes. So he took over the throne from his father on August the 2nd of 1830. He thought about it for 20 minutes. Then he said, nah, this ain't for me. And he abdicated it so Henry V could take over. So I guess in the line of kings, he's still considered a king. He served for just 20 minutes. So I guess, like if you're looking at portraits of kings, do you think they have one of Louis the 19th up there?
He should.
Yeah, he was king for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Tyler Miller in this morning's County Agents Corner. Tyler, appreciate you being on. We'll talk to you again tomorrow morning, okay?
All righty.
All right, Tyler Miller, appreciate it. That's Tyler giving us an update from the Lincoln County Extension Office. And this morning's County Agents Corner at 7:45. We see what's going on out west in Hollywood. The Showbiz segment. It's coming your way next on The Joe Show. There you go.
Scar tissue that I wish you saw. Sarcastic Mr. Know-It-All. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you, 'cause with the birds I'll share.
Brady Neves, and I'm living in Harrodsburg. I work for Christy Welch. She's been helping my family for years. She's helped my aunt with a few houses, and then my mom. She was just awesome. As a first-time home buyer, I had a ton of questions, stuff I didn't know, and she helped me every step of the way. There's not enough good things I could say. She's great herself, but I know other realtors that she's gotten there, all great people as well. Absolutely, I would recommend them.
Welch Real Estate. Welcome home with Welch Homes.
Anytime the crew gets together, one thing's guaranteed. Somebody's hungry. Don't get just any pizza. Get the pizza. The Big New Yorker for just $10. Pizza Hut's biggest pizza, made to feed the whole crew. Extra large, foldable slices, and fluffy New York style crust. Seasoned with Parmesan and oregano. The Big New Yorker, just $10 for a limited time. In Danville, Harrodsburg, and Stanford. Order at pizzahut.com or in the app.
Ask Click for a limited time offer. Prices, participation, and availability may vary. Additional charge for extra toppings, max 3, and extra cheese. Taxes, tip, and delivery fees not included.
When that time comes and you need an electrician, plumber, someone to fix your heating and air, or garage door care, Kentucky Service Company is your professionals for serving real needs and fixing real problems. Expect clear communication, fair pricing, and craftsmanship you can trust. The KSE family brand includes Fire Stretcher, Heating and Air, Hearst, Electric and Plumbing, and newly added Easy Open Garage Doors. These companies are built on heritage, serving with pride. They are your home's best friend. Kentucky Service Companies.
Discover the power of radio. If you own a business and want to grow profits, you should consider radio. With the right offer and enough frequency, radio can produce results unmatched by any other media. Also, radio is more cost-effective. Discover the power of radio.
Promote your business to thousands of potential customers every week. To learn more, go online to advertisecentralkentucky.com. That's advertisecentralkentucky.com.
Well, happy Tuesday. I'm Scott Fitzgerald. Let's talk sports here on the Kentucky News Network. College football's national championship is heading to Bloomington for the first time ever.
Mendoza ready to take the snap. He takes it. He looks. He throws the football. And
he runs it.
No, he runs it. And he ties for the end zone. Does he get it in? Touchdown! Fernando Mendoza runs the football and scores.
Fernando Mendoza drove for a key rushing touchdown to make it a two-score game in the fourth quarter. The Hoosiers take down the Miami Hurricanes 27-21 in the playoff title game from Miami. Top-ranked Indiana finishes a perfect 16-0. Back here in the Commonwealth, new Kentucky coach Will Stein met with the media yesterday at Kroger Field, offering a detailed look at his first roster and staff in Lexington. Stein emphasized building the team the right way, noting the importance of keeping commitments to Kentucky's high school class while reshaping the roster through the transfer portal.
The best way that we're going to move forward is really starting inside the state of Kentucky. It has to. I mean, in this next class, there's a lot of really good talent in the state right now, a lot. And when I've seen Kentucky at its best, it's homegrown talent. That's where you got to start. And then you look at really the 5-6 hour radius, around us: Nashville, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit. I'm even going to Charlotte, Atlanta. Like, those are the cities that you really want to hone in on, even St. Louis.
Staying with the Cats after 3 straight comeback wins, Kentucky received 27 votes in this week's AP Top 25 while receiving 5 votes in this week's Coaches Poll. Kentucky back at it tomorrow when Sean Miller and Texas drop in Rupp Arena. The Horns survive winners of 2 of their last 3 to include an upset of then number 10 Vanderbilt and then 13th ranked Alabama. And the Bengals could be facing another offseason shakeup on offense. Cincinnati allowing offensive coordinator Dan Pitcher to interview for the Buccaneers head coaching job. And the Tennessee Titans have found their new coach. According to ESPN, they're going to hire former Jets coach Robert Saleh. I'm Scott Fitzgerald.
Trust & Will is an online estate planning service. Trust & Will is not a law firm. It does not provide legal advice, and the online forms it provides are not a substitute for the advice or services of an attorney. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable. And I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
Hey, it's Joe Pags. Make plans to join us for the show. We're bringing the top news stories that are affecting you, the top stories from social media, pop culture stories, could be in sports. Maybe we'll sing a song or 2 or 3 or make fun of somebody that you want us to make fun of. That plus, of course, a big part of the program is you calling in. Look, we can agree, we can debate, we can yell at each other, we can sing a song together. We do it all right here on the Joe Pags Show, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 on WHIR AM 1230 and online at hometownlive.net.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
All right, Little Riley Joe, brought to you by our friends hanging out over at the McDeal's online store, hometownlive.net. Shop and save on gift certificates to local businesses and big-time discounts, up to 50% every day. Entertainment tickets, too. The Big Deal's online store, hometownlive.net. Sunny 29 and 20 is the high and low. Wind chill is at 2 below 0. Tomorrow, 50-50 chance, mostly cloudy, a high of 43. Thursday, mostly sunny and a high of 42. Right now it's 7:50 in the morning, 8 degrees right here in Danville. 859-238 WHIR. Former Vice President Kamala Harris is being mocked after the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, declared last Wednesday to be Kamala Harris Day. Yeah, Kamala Harris Day was last Wednesday. Well, check out this ad for the new Kamala Day calendar.
Hi, it's Kamala Harris. Did you miss Kamala Day? That's okay. Now you can celebrate Kamala Day over and over again with the Kamala Day calendar. Yes, each month, a different day that I've decided will be Kamala Day. For example, February 1st, Kamala Day. March, let's say the 10th, that's also Kamala Day. April, well, let's see. April is an interesting month because it's usually rainy that month. Rain is important because it helps things grow, plants and whatnot, and trees. Trees give us oxygen. We need to breathe during all of the months. And April, that's a month with, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, right, Kamala Day. I'll make it April 5th or something. Actually, every day is Kamala Day. April is Kamala month. I've decided. The Kamala Day calendar, celebrate Kamala Day over and over again. Order now.
There you go, the Kamala Day calendar. Let's see what's going on out west in Hollywood. The showbiz segment, the world of WHIR. Those people so rich and famous they're disassociated with reality. A good rule of thumb, a celebrity does it, says or thinks it, you should do say and think the opposite. Here we go. The world of WHIR, the showbiz segment, starting off here. Michael B. Jordan doesn't like a guy who'd get teased. Doesn't look like a guy who'd get teased, but it happened because of his name. I don't know if you've noticed, but it kind of sounds like the name of a famous athlete. He says, quote, I got teased so much to the point where I almost changed my name, but he ultimately realized that being compared to the other Michael Jordan was, quote, part of the alchemy that made me who I am today. It definitely made me want to be competitive. I wanted to be great at something, if not for nothing else at the time, just to feel like I had my own identity. He adds, quote, I feel like I'm walking in and will continue to do so big time. We got a lot more things to do. We're just getting started. By the way, the B in Michael B. Jordan, his middle name stands for Bakari. That's his middle name, Michael Bakari Jordan. Simu Liu brought shame on his entire family when he lost his accounting job and decided to pursue acting. Quote, the level of shame in Asia, in the Asian standards, would be like if I was addicted to meth and on the street. He said they're the same. I'm trying to level this out for you guys, what it was like in our household. It was bad. Simu said he recently visited his grandma in China for the first time in 15 years. He hadn't been because he was disinvited from family trips for a long time. Quote, I felt really guilty about not coming back sooner, although in my defense, I did kind of become like a black sheep in the family. And hey, Kelly Clarkson's expected to call it quits on her daytime talk show after the current 7th season. One source says it's a definite. Another said it's, quote, likely that it will not go on. Her show is a lot to put on. Look at the landscape across daytime television. It's not sustainable anymore. It's probably worth mentioning that Kelly's contract expires this year. There were rumors last year that she would leave her show and could be replaced by someone else. It wasn't clear at the time, but Kelly had taken a leave of absence to care for her ex-husband during his cancer battle. He lost that battle with cancer in August. Kelly Clarkson's show is expected to end after this season. Simu Liu was disinvited from family vacations when he became an actor, and Michael B. Jordan almost changed his name because of bullying. That's what's going on out west in Hollywood. The showbiz segment, also known as the world of weird. Alrighty, it's 7:55 in the morning. We're going to Melton's Deli in Danville to grab our sandwich for lunch this afternoon. And Today, for lunch from Melton's, let's go with the Reuben. It's number 7 on the Melton's menu. Thinly sliced corned beef, chopped kraut, melted Swiss cheese, and Thousand Island dressing served on toasted rye bread. The Reuben, it's number 7 on the Melton's Deli menu. 247 East Main Street and 995 Ben Ally Drive. Tell them you heard him this morning on the Joe Show and that you want to try out the Reuben as your sandwich of the day from Melton's Deli in Danville. At 7:56 in the morning, it is 8 degrees. Wind chill is at 6 below zero. We're back after this. Not 6 below zero, 6/10 of a degree below zero. Again, regardless, it's sub-zero and it's too cold to want to be outside. We're back in 90 seconds.
So you want to be a recycling hero in Danville with curbside pickup or impress the fine folks at Boyle County Recycling Center? Pay attention, because it's a little more than just breathing air and tossing your stuff in the bin. Only plastics marked with numbers 1 and 2 make the cut. Got it? Great. And don't just toss in goo-covered spaghetti jars or soda cans. Rinse those bad boys. Gotta be squeaky clean, shiny happy, bone dry. Bonus tip, this also applies to your metal cans, whether they're steel, tin, or aluminum. Seriously, don't mix in that oil-stained tin foil hat. Got a hoarding problem with cardboard, catalogs, and magazines that rival a library? Set them free to reincarnate. Cereal boxes, office paper, they're all up for this new spiritual paper journey. And listen up, confetti enthusiasts, bag that shredded paper. Sorry, folks. Glass is not welcome to the recyclables party, but hey, give yourself a high five for recycling right.
Boyle County's our home, so let's keep it clean.
Hey folks, Willie Baker here, Baker Auctions and Real Estate. Do you have an estate to settle or equipment to sell? If so, give us a call at 855-858-SOLD, 855-858-7653. Or check us out on the web at bidbaker.com. Bidbaker.com. Auctions and more can be found at bidbaker.com. Want more for your acre? Call Willie Baker at bidbaker.com. 855-858-7653.
Time out for sports this weekend with
VSiN Sports Shows
on WHIR AM 1230.
All right, 7:58 in the morning. So happy to have you on the show. 859-238-WHIR to call in, 238-9447. There are new emojis that are set to hit phones and keyboards in the next year or so. 9 new emojis, and the list is not set in stone yet, and one of them might still change. A nonprofit called the Unicode Consortium is the one that decides which emojis to add, and they quietly posted a list of 9 new ones late last year, but they've got another meeting this week, and it looks like one of them might get replaced. Now, there was a face that had squinting eyes that was on the list, which could mean something like something small, you can't see it, you're squinting to find it. Or it could mean you're suspicious and taking a closer look at something, though that's what the monocle emoji is for. But that one might get knocked out by a cracking face emoji that looks like shattered glass. Now, what they say, they being the Unicode Consortium, a nonprofit that decides which emojis to put on the phone. They say the cracking face emoji is supposed to mean like you're damaged. You're physically or emotionally damaged, but you made it through and you'll be okay. They also certainly expect people to use that one sarcastically as well. The other 8 are left thumb and right thumb, a monarch butterfly, a butterfly net, a lighthouse, an eraser, a pickle, and one that looks like a world-ending asteroid. All that apparently supposed to be coming to phones in early 2027 or so. 9 brand new emojis. We're halfway home. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. Top Hour News is right now.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 8 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Thousands of arrests have been made in Minneapolis as the Trump administration continues to crack down on immigration. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem took to X Monday to say over 10,000 arrests were made of what she claimed were, in her words, criminal illegal aliens who are killing Americans, hurting children, and raining terror in Minneapolis. Meanwhile, NBC's Maggie Vesper reports protests continue over ICE actions.
Nationwide, we are seeing a massive, growing show of solidarity and support with Minneapolis. Yesterday, we saw protesters in multiple cities, New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta, marking Martin Luther King Day by taking to the streets.
The Supreme Court could rule today on the legality of President Trump's global tariffs. The justices heard the case in early November. The court's decision could have massive implications for American consumers and businesses, the economy, and presidential authority. President Trump heads to Switzerland today for the World Economic Forum in Davos. More from Rory O'Neill.
Much is on the line for the president's two-day trip to Davos. There's the Gaza Board of Peace set up to monitor the Israel-Hamas ceasefire. Some allies, like France, have balked at the billion-dollar membership fee. And President Trump's push to annex Greenland is dividing the NATO alliance. Trump says the U.S. needs to control Greenland for national security. Critics say Russia made the same argument before launching its invasion of Ukraine. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Amid the ongoing threats of more tariffs from President Trump, Dow futures have tumbled nearly 700 points this morning. Travelers who don't have real ID will have an optional process on February 1st. It'll use biographic and or biometric information to confirm a traveler's identity and that they're not on a secure flight watch list. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term.
Time spent may vary. Online health questions required.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders are joining striking nurses in New York this morning to show support for them. Scott Pringle reports.
This is day 9 of a strike for about 15,000 nurses at Mount Sinai, New York Presbyterian, and Montefiore hospital systems.
Nurses united, will never be defeated.
Reverend Al Sharpton joined nurses on the picket lines on Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
How can you spend King Day and turn your back on people that are working and not insured right?
With the nurses union saying there's only been one negotiating session since the strike started. Hospitals say they just can't meet the nurses' demands of lower patient-to-staff ratio and better workplace violence protection and stronger health care coverage.
Former L.A. Dodger Yasiel Puig is set to go on trial today for allegedly lying to investigators about his suspected involvement in illegal sports betting. More from Tammy Trujillo.
The 35-year-old is charged with obstruction of justice and making false statements to federal investigators. The case began in 2017 while the feds were investigating an ex-minor league pitcher named Wayne Nix. Puig is accused of placing bets using an associate of Nix. He allegedly ended up owing the bookie over $280,000 for sports gambling losses. Puig is pleading not guilty.
Roger Waters doesn't regret trashing Ozzy Osbourne following his death. Mark Mayfield with more.
The lunatic is in my head. The lunatic.
During an interview with the Independent Ink last August, the former Pink Floyd member took aim at Osbourne, saying although he was all over TV for hundreds of years with his idiocy and nonsense, he has never cared for Black Sabbath. Now, after facing criticism, Waters told Piers Morgan that he's not denying the comments he made, and he won't be apologizing to Osbourne's wife, Sharon, because she's accused him of all kinds of things.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
The guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, president of Leaf Filter, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Since 1932, Rumpke has been there for life's everyday messes and the not so everyday ones too. It's our mission, our purpose, and our commitment to those we serve. We are green guardians, everyday environmentalists, protectors of the planet. We keep neighborhoods and businesses clean and green. Our team offers helping hands, friendly waves, and clean curbs. Rumpke Waste and Recycling. We are so much more than trash collection. Learn more about our family business and the important work we do at rumpke.com.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Mercer County Fire has named their new fire chief. David Goodlett was named the new fire chief of Mercer County. He'll assume the office formerly vacated by Chief Glenn Phillips before his passing. Goodlett himself was the district chief at Station 4 in Salviza and a member of the fire board at Mercer County Fire Protection District. Voting continues in Parade Magazine's America's Favorite Small Towns contest. Voting continues through January 21st, and those communities with the most votes this round will advance to the final round. The contest celebrates small towns that show charm, community spirit, and quality of life. Community leaders say that a win in the contest would bring national recognition for Danville. You can vote for Danville once per day, per person through tomorrow at americasfavoritesmalltowns.parade.com. A status hearing is expected today in the case against Shannon Gilday. Gilday is accused of breaking into Representative Wesley Morgan's home and shooting and killing his daughter. Gilday's team has argued that the high-profile case and media coverage has prejudiced the local jury pool and that he can't receive a fair trial in Madison County. They're asking for a change of venue. The hearing is set for 1:30 this afternoon at the Madison County Courthouse. Staying in Madison County, Kentucky State Police say they're investigating after an inmate being released from Madison County Jail died. It happened on January 2nd when Madison County Jailer Larry Brock said Dion Watts was released from jail. When he was exiting the Sally Port, he encountered Richmond police officers. Brock said Watts appeared to be in a state of paranoia and suggested that he believed the officers were going to harm him. He then re-entered the Sally Port and physically secured the exit door, which prevented anyone from getting in or out. Staff tried to de-escalate the situation, but Watts didn't comply, causing officers to use force. Watts later died, and an internal review is underway. The NAACP Richmond branch says that Watts was, quote, severely beaten, but Brock says there was, quote, no evidence to suggest that Mr. Watts was beaten or subjected to any form of abuse. Meanwhile, Richmond police say they're waiting for the investigation to be completed. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Talk Kentucky Sports, weekday mornings at 10 with Matt Jones and Kentucky Sports Radio, right here on AM 1230 WHIR.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Ask Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance Agency in Danville if Auto Owners makes sense for you. Call me, Mark Dexter, or Chris Reitmeyer.
The Danville Mailing Center makes shipping easy. UPS, FedEx, DHL, U.S. Postal Service. Let them find the fastest or most economical way. They'll even pack it up. It's the no-hassle way to ship. The Danville Mailing Center on Jane Trail across from McDonald's. Ask for your $3 discount.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
Thank you there, little Rayleigh. I appreciate that. Brought to you by our friends hanging out over at Good Neighbor Pharmacy in Danville, featuring convenient stay-in-your-car drive-thru. Complete diabetes shop, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturday, 9 to 5. Good Neighbor Pharmacy behind Cracker Barrel. Sunshine, a high today, 29, low at 20. Wind chill down to the sub-zero numbers. Wednesday. Yeah, tomorrow, 50-50 chance, mostly cloudy and 43. Thursday, mostly sunny and 42. Right now, it is 8:11 in the morning. It's 8 degrees. Tuesday, the 20th day of January, and Mike Marcy joins us this morning, the Marcidator. What's going on, Mike?
Good morning, Joe.
How are you doing?
Doing all right. We got to get your kids to come up with a better weather forecast, though.
I know. Have you seen the forecast for this weekend? I didn't even get to make it to this weekend. Have you seen that, Mike?
No good news there either.
There's not. No, I was reading Chris Bailey's weather blog, and he said if a certain thing happens specifically, like if a certain pressure system comes in, he said that the snowfall ratios would be off the charts. I'm like, you never want to hear a chief meteorologist talk about snowfall being off the charts.
No, that's
not what you
all
want.
All kinds of bad. All kinds of bad.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Speaking of all kinds of bad, it's got all kinds of good at the Boyle County Public Library. You are staying busy, keeping things going there at the library. Mike, tell us what's up this week.
Well, we're staying busy here in climate-controlled comfort, so bring the family on into the library anytime.
Good.
One of the things we've got cooking tomorrow is the first of 5 sessions where a representative from the Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority will come in for help and advice with completing the FAFSA. If you're going to send a kid to college soon, you and they are going to have to deal with the FAFSA unless you're independently wealthy. So we've got Brittany Foley from KHEAA coming in 5 times between now and May. The first session is tomorrow, 3 to 5:30 p.m. You can drop in any time during that window. Bring your paperwork, bring your questions.
Yeah.
You'll be glad to answer them.
Good stuff. I remember having to do that when I was in college, and those can be very complicated documents. So for
yes,
you all,
they can.
you all to offer
predate
that.
the FAFSA.
Yeah.
But I had my paperwork too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Coming up on Thursday, it's a kids craft program for ages 6 to 10. They're making 3D sponge art and turning it into keychains. We've also got our YA Super Gaming Guild, which will feature Kirby games this month. And Thursday night at the Story Center at Grayson's Tavern, our old-time folk music jam returns for the first time in a few months. Just a lot of guys and girls who like to get together and pick some tunes for a couple of hours. And anybody's welcome to come and pick. Anybody's welcome to come and listen. It's a good time out there at the Story Center.
Okay.
Our story time calendar this week includes a Saturday story time from 11 to 12 o'clock on Saturday morning. So come on out for that this weekend. And then looking ahead here, on Tuesday the 27th, we have another Story Center program, Exploring Boyle County Maps. We're going to look at what we can learn about the history of the community through maps. We'll have maps, some historic maps that the Story Center has collected. You're also welcome to bring your historic maps if you're in possession of some maps, you and your family, and they can talk to you about what those maps reveal and also talk to you about how to take care of those documents.
Awesome. Do they have any maps to any buried treasure here? Because you mentioned independently wealthy. That's what I need to get my kids through college.
Look for the X, I guess, on the on the map there.
X on the map, yeah.
I haven't heard about anything leading to buried treasure, but always look for the X. And then I want to throw in a plug, too, for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library. Yesterday was Dolly's 80th birthday.
Yeah.
And we put out some social media posts saluting her and talking about the Imagination Library to mark the occasion. Of course, she's put who knows how much of her resources into this program here to provide books for people in countries all over the world now. It's expanded well beyond the U.S. borders. And if you live in Boyle County and you have a child 5 years old or less, from infancy right on up to age 5, you can get a free book in the mail every month from Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. All you have to do is go to our website. There's a link right on the homepage there to sign up for that.
There you go. We love it. So when they started offering that here, my daughter Rayleigh was like 4, but she turned 5 just like a couple of months later. So we only got to take advantage of that for like a couple of months. But now we got Truett, right? We got baby Truett. So we need to get Truett signed up for the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Absolutely. Keep those books coming in.
It's cool.
She just marked a milestone last fall, 300 million books distributed.
Oh, wow. That's insane. 300 million.
300 million, and a program that started out just in one county in her hometown in Tennessee, and now 300 million books. That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. So how do people sign up for that, Mike?
they just go to, like I said, they go to our website on the boylepublib.org on the homepage. Just a little ways down on the left, you can see a link to it, and you follow the instructions on that link, and it'll sign you right up. We've got, of course, community partners that help support that as well, including the Heart of Kentucky United Way is the big local partner for the Boyle County chapter.
There it is. Mike Marcy with the Boyle County Public Library. Mike, if people have any questions for you, how can they find out what's going on and get in touch with you all?
BoylePublib.org, or they can call 238-READ.
There it is, 238-READ, BoylePublib.org. Mike Marcy with the Boyle County Public Library. Let's end this segment with a little Dolly, a little 9 to 5. Mike, appreciate you being on. We'll talk to you later, okay?
See you soon, Joe. All
right. There you go, Mike Marcy with the library. It's 8:16 in the morning. Randyisms. Randy Graham comes your way next.
Stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping.
Well, happy Tuesday. I'm Scott Fitzgerald. Let's talk sports here on the Kentucky News Network. College football's national championship is heading to Bloomington for the first time ever.
Mendoza ready to take the snap. He takes it. He looks. He throws the football. And
he runs it.
No, he runs it. And he ties for the end zone. Does he get it in? Touchdown! Fernando Mendoza runs the football and scores.
Fernando Mendoza drove for a key rushing touchdown to make it a 2-score game in the fourth quarter. The Hoosiers take down the Miami Hurricanes 27-21 in the playoff title game from Miami. Top-ranked Indiana finishes a perfect 16-0. Back here in the Commonwealth, new Kentucky coach Will Stein met with the media yesterday at Kroger Field, offering a detailed look at his first roster and staff in Lexington. Stein emphasized building the team the right way, noting the importance of keeping commitments to Kentucky's high school class while reshaping the roster through the transfer portal.
The best way that we're going to move forward is really starting inside the state of Kentucky. It has to. I mean, in this next class, there's a lot of really good talent in the state right now, a lot. And when I've seen Kentucky at its best, it's homegrown talent. That's where you got to start. And then you look at really the 5-6 hour radius, around us, Nashville, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit, even going to Charlotte, Atlanta. Like, those are the cities that you really want to hone in on, even St. Louis.
Staying with the Cats after 3 straight comeback wins, Kentucky received 27 votes in this week's AP Top 25 while receiving 5 votes in this week's Coaches Poll. Kentucky back at it tomorrow when Sean Miller and Texas drop in Rupp Arena. The Horns survive winners of 2 of their last 3 to include an upset of then number 10 Vanderbilt and then 13th ranked Alabama. And the Bengals could be facing another offseason shakeup on offense. Cincinnati allowing offensive coordinator Dan Pitcher to interview for the Buccaneers head coaching job. And the Tennessee Titans have found their new coach. According to ESPN, they're going to hire former Jets coach Robert Saleh. I'm Scott Fitzgerald.
Ready to remodel your home with new kitchen, bath, or lighting, but costs are holding you back? Good news. The Big Deal Store and HometownLive.net can help you get started with your remodeling dreams. You can now save money on gift certificates to Lux 218 in Danville. Your new headquarters for luxury remodeling for less. They have a wonderful showroom of ideas to kickstart your home remodeling job this year. Don't let price hold you back. Get true luxury for less at Lux 218 and then get extra savings by buying gift certificates at the Big Deal Store. You can get $100 for half price when you buy 5 or more. So get $1,000 for just $500. For all the details, visit the Big Deal Store and HometownLive.net. Remodeling just got easier and so much more affordable when you team up with Lux 218 and the Big Deal Store.
This Joe Show Weather Report is brought to you by...
All right, little Rayleigh Joe, appreciate that. Brought to you by our friends hanging out over at Southern Heating and Cooling. Keep your home cozy with Southern Heating and Cooling. Your comfort is always their priority. They're veteran-owned, they're family-operated, and locally trusted. Go online to southernheatingcooling.com. 859-324-2770. Sunshine, 29's the high, 20 the low. Wind chill at 2 below zero. Tomorrow, cloudy, 43's the high. Thursday, 42. Friday, 30 with mostly cloudy skies. It's 8:20 in the morning. It is 8 degrees. Randy Yozoms is in studio. The thoughts of Randy Graham. These are Randy Graham's thoughts. Take it away, Randy.
Good morning, Sir Joe in the Know, and what another great day it is to get up and get at 'em. Well, Joe, Leadership took center stage last night in the college football championship, or I should say enlightened leadership, as we witnessed the University of Indiana defeat Miami in a close contest. Actually, leadership, or I should say enlightened leadership, was not only taking center stage, but the world stage as well, as President Donald Trump attended the event. You know, Joe, I was once asked in a condescending, arrogant attitude, well, what do you mean by enlightened leadership? And I just had to return it in the same way it was presented to me by replying, well, if you gotta ask, then obviously you are not one. But Trump showing the importance of such an event by attending it, calling college football one of the best examples of American culture, which he was right. You know, Joe, we often talk about education in both high school and college, and often as if sports is on the outside, looking in, when nothing could be further from the truth. You see, the basketball arenas and athletic fields of competition are a coach's classroom, where hopefully the players are not only being taught the fundamentals of the game, but also the fundamentals of life, of being knocked down and getting right back up, of setting goals and seeing our commitment through, all areas applicable to life, of how hard work and intestinal fortitude can lead to one's success. You know, Joe, coming from a coaching family, where my father was my high school basketball coach and my brother being a retired football coach, I remember one of my brother's football players who retired as a major in the Marine Corps, a decorated Marine, fighting in Afghanistan, talked about how during some of the tough times when he was hunkered down in a foxhole during the night, he would think back to his high school football playing days and would remember the slogan of his high school team that my brother had created, inspired by the Bible, of DTF, DTV, determined to fight, dedicated to victory. And this former player who became all-state and would go on to play college football said it was those type of moments that helped him make it through those tough situations. Yeah, Trump was right. College football represents some of the best of American culture. And as an enlightened leader, Trump understood this, and why in part he was there. And you saw it here as well in the fact that it was Indiana that took the national championship after for years being the doormat of college football, but in 2 years' time turned it around, showing that the situations in life don't always have to stay the way they are. And what found it exciting about their quarterback, the Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza, was that he, along with a reported 7 other players, came from the same area in high school, just 2 miles away from where the game was being played. With Mendoza growing up wanting to play for the Miami Hurricanes. But there he was back in his hometown, leading his team to the national championship, talking things movies are made of. Mendoza, Cuban descent, when interviewed all season long, always first thanked God for the talent God had gave him, and turning the question directed toward his talent back to the team. Yeah, there is no I in the word team, an example of enlightened leadership. And while watching the camera being periodically showing his family's dad, younger brothers, and mom, I noticed his father would walk over to his mother while she was sitting there watching the game and excitingly explaining what had just happened after big plays. And it wasn't until toward the end of the game I realized that this was because Mendoza's mother was suffering from MS and was in a wheelchair. The story the commentator shared was that Mendoza, while growing up, it was his mom who would take him religiously to football camps. And now there she was watching him as the Heisman Trophy winner, leading his team to victory. Lead the team to victory. I mean, what a sweet ending for a truly family affair. Yes, sports, and specifically college football, is showing the best essence of American culture, where it requires 21 different players to play as a team in order to execute what needs to be done. I mean, there's no closer example of the military than American football. And yes, sports. But through Mendoza's words, he also showed that this old statement that the best leader leads by example is not entirely true. When we hear the words that I would rather have someone who walks the walk instead of talking the talk. No, the best leader not only leads by example in his athletic prowess, but highlighting the accomplishments of his teammates shows that the best leader is also the one who can also talk the talk. inspiring others to follow the desires of his and their hearts, an essential of enlightened leadership. The fact is, people will follow someone who believes in themselves. Hopefully, those leaders' beliefs are worth following. And in this moment in time in sports history, Mendoza played that role for the University of Indiana. It was fun to watch while witnessing college football history being made, not only on the college stage, but yes, the world stage, as Trump emphasized the importance of the event by being there prior to flying to Europe for the World Economic Forum, which no doubt part of the communication will be regarding Greenland and Trump's desire for America to purchase Greenland, which is considered a part of Denmark. Just like we had the Louisiana purchase, we purchased from France or Napoleon in 1803 and Florida from Spain in 1819. With Trump not ruling out the idea that we would possibly take Greenland for national security, albeit Trump using it as a chip, having all cards on the table to be able to negotiate. But even here we get to see an example of enlightened leadership by the unenlightened example of the Norway Prime Minister, Jonas Gahr Store, allowing private texts between him and Trump, edited by a liberal press, to send a message to hopefully embarrass the president, to imply Trump was going to play tough because Norway, who hosts the Nobel Prize, did not give it to him. BS. Bashir stuff, Biden stuff. No, when you read the full text, you see the truth. If one remembers, Norway, against Trump and Israel's wishes, recognized Palestinian statehood, an impediment in Israel and America's view toward peace. So as they were having behind-the-scenes confidential communication, Store sends a message to President. Dear Donald, on the contact across the Atlantic, on Greenland, Gaza, Ukraine, and your tariff announcement yesterday, you know our position on these issues. But we believe we all should work to take this down and de-escalate. So much is happening around us where we need to stand together. We are proposing a call with you later today, with both of us, meaning an ally, or separately. Give us a hint of what you prefer best, Alex and Jonas. So President Trump replied, presenting a mirror in front of Store to be able to look at himself through Trump's eyes and see if he liked the image he was looking at. Yeah, the mirror of life showing Store and Europe's hypocrisy. Dear Jonas, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize for having stopped 8 wars, plus I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace, although it will always be predominant, but can now think about what is good and proper for the United States of America. Denmark cannot protect that land from Russia or China. And why do they have a right of ownership anyway? There are no written documents. It's only that a boat landed there hundreds of years ago. But we had boats landing there also. I have done more for NATO than any other person since its founding, and now NATO should be doing something for the United States. The world is not secure unless we have complete and total control of Greenland. Thank you, President DJT. You see, Joe, Trump has a desire to develop a golden dome to protect the United States from missiles. And any missiles from Russia or China are going to go directly over Greenland. And with hypersonic missiles at the speed of 7,000 miles an hour, it's only a matter of seconds to shoot them down. Yeah, the hypocrisy. Store did something else as well by releasing those texts. He showed that he cannot be trusted in private communication. Yeah, unenlightened leadership on the world stage. By the way, taking care of your citizens, did you know that Denmark just apologized to their so-called citizens in Greenland for sterilizing many unbeknownst to them in the 1960s so they would not be able to populate Greenland more? Yeah, the press conveniently avoids those type of publications. That's why sometimes you gotta play tough on the world stage. An American tradition, a foundation built in part on athletic fields of competition.
Randy Graham, the thoughts of Randy Graham, we call those Randyisms, Tuesdays and Thursdays, right here on the Joe Show. It's 8:30 in the morning. The Kentucky News Network is coming your way next.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Governor Andy Beshear is in Europe this week on an economic development trip, traveling to Finland and Sweden.
Hey everybody, it's Andy. Brittany and I are finishing up a busy day in Helsinki. We've met with 4 companies that employ about 800 people in Kentucky and a ton more that are looking to make Kentucky their new Kentucky home.
In that same social media post, he adds he and the First Lady met with 4 companies on Monday. He's also attending the World Economic Forum in Switzerland and scheduled to speak at 2 events at the Economic Forum in Davos Wednesday, a conversation with U.S. state governors, and a press conference on closing the manufacturing talent gap in the U.S. and beyond. Meantime, Kentucky's Republican Party criticizing Bashir's trip, saying Andy Bashir is skipping town, dodging responsibility, and chasing headlines as he tries to build a national profile for a presidential campaign that's already 6 feet under. Right before Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Ku Klux Klan material found at the Kenwick neighborhood in Lexington. They were found Sunday night by a neighbor who contacted the Neighborhood Association president, and Blake called the next morning. Hall's first reaction, disgust, and he believes whoever spread those papers wanted to shock people. Lexington police are aware of the flyers and ask anyone with information to call them or drop an anonymous tip via Bluegrass Crime Stoppers. The trial against the man who allegedly killed 7-year-old Rose Morgan in 2024 will be moved out of Adair County. Joel Hammock's attorneys argue that media coverage tainted the chance for a fair trial. Adair Circuit Judge Judy Vance Murphy signed the order last week. Moving it to Casey County is slated to begin February 2nd. Hammock faces charges including murder, DUI, assault, and persistent felony offender. I'm Lee Mowen.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Trust & Will is an online estate planning service. Trust & Will is not a law firm. It does not provide legal advice, and the online forms it provides are not a substitute for the advice or services of an attorney. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust & Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust & Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust & Will, it was easy and affordable. And I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust & Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
Anytime the crew gets together, one thing's guaranteed. Somebody's hungry. Don't get just any pizza. Get the pizza. The Big New Yorker for just $10. Pizza Hut's biggest pizza, made to feed the whole crew. Extra large, foldable slices, and fluffy New York style crust. Season with Parmesan and oregano. The Big New Yorker, just $10 for a limited time. A Danville, Harrisburg, and Stanford. Order at pizzahut.com or in the app.
Ask Click for a limited time offer. Prices, participation, and availability may vary. Additional charge for extra toppings, max 3, and extra cheese. Taxes, tip, and delivery fees not included.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. Mercer County Fire has named their new fire chief. David Goodlett was named the new fire chief of Mercer County. He'll assume the office formerly vacated by Chief Glenn Phillips before his passing. Goodlett himself was the district chief at Station 4 in Salvisa and a member of the fire board at Mercer County Fire Protection District. Voting continues in Parade Magazine's America's Favorite Small Towns contest. Voting continues through January 21st, and those communities with the most votes this round will advance to the final round. The contest celebrates small towns that show charm, community spirit, and quality of life. Community leaders say that a win in the contest would bring national recognition for Danville. You can vote for Danville once per day, per person through tomorrow at americasfavoritesmalltowns.parade.com. A status hearing is expected today in the case against Shannon Gilday. Gilday is accused of breaking into Representative Wesley Morgan's home and shooting and killing his daughter. Gilday's team has argued that the high-profile case and media coverage has prejudiced the local jury pool and that he can't receive a fair trial in Madison County. They're asking for a change of venue. The hearing is set for 1:30 this afternoon at the Madison County Courthouse. Staying in Madison County, Kentucky State Police say they're investigating after an inmate being released from Madison County Jail died. It happened on January 2nd when Madison County Jailer Larry Brock said Dion Watts was released from jail. When he was exiting the Sally Port, he encountered Richmond police officers. Brock said Watts appeared to be in a state of paranoia and suggested that he believed the officers were going to harm him. He then re-entered the Sally Port and physically secured the exit door, which prevented anyone from getting in or out. Staff tried to de-escalate the situation, but Watts didn't comply, causing officers to use force. Watts later died, and an internal review is underway. The NAACP Richmond branch says that Watts was, quote, severely beaten, but Brock says there was, quote, no evidence to suggest that Mr. Watts was beaten or subjected to any form of abuse. Meanwhile, Richmond police say they're waiting for the investigation to be completed. Reporting for the Hometown Radio Network, I'm Joe Mathis.
Hi, I'm Brent Blevins, Public Health Director of the Boyle County Health Department with an important message. The American Cancer Society estimates that nearly 3,500 deaths per year in Kentucky can be attributed to lung cancer. Most people are aware that cigarette smoking may contribute to lung cancer, but are unaware of another serious lung cancer threat, radon. In fact, the Environmental Protection Agency states that prolonged exposure to elevated levels of radon gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Now you may be asking yourself a few questions like, what is an elevated level of radon? Where does radon come from? Or how can I tell if radon is in my home? Your Boyle County Health Department stands ready to answer your questions and help determine if your family may be at risk. Simply contact our environmental staff at 859-236-2053. The health of your family depends on it.
Winning is about forcing a turnover. Just like the Wildcats using a full-court press, our energy efficiency programs can force a turnover on high energy costs. Don't ride the bench, be a player. Visit intercountyenergy.net to find out how we can help. Saving energy and money is a slam dunk. Intercounty Energy, a Touchstone Energy cooperative.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
Okay, little Rayleigh Joe, appreciate that. Brought to you by Morning Point in Danville. They've got the Lantern, one of their two buildings there. The Lantern offers 2 levels of memory care for early and for latter stages of Alzheimer's and dementia. It's info online at Facebook, Morning Point, and even the Point, Morning Point of Danville. All right, sunshine, 29 and 20 is the high and low, 2 below 0 is the wind chill. On Wednesday, 50-50 chance of rain, mostly cloudy, a high of 43. Thursday, mostly sunny, and a high of 42. Right now, it's 8:38 in the morning. It is 8 degrees, wind chill at 2 below 0. Pimmy! What's going on with your wedding planning with Pim? Here we go.
Hi, I'm Pim Stewart Clark, and this is Wedding Planning with Pim. The symbol of the diary, the purpose of today's shower, is to help a couple outfit their new home or symbol or trousseau. It was traditionally an all-female afternoon tea or luncheon. Not anymore. Today, friends, bridesmaids, the honor attendant, or best man might throw a co-ed party for the bride and groom. All showers should be scheduled a significant amount of time after any engagement parties, after the couple is registered for gifts, but at least 2 weeks before the wedding. If the bride lives far away, a shower might be planned for when she's in town for a dress fitting or to get the marriage license, so she won't have to make an extra trip. Showers tend to be informal, whether held at home or in a restaurant or hotel. They are most often a lunch, but might be a brunch, barbecue, pool party, or cocktail party. Most, but not all showers are a surprise. What happens at a shower? The host or hostess should ask guests to arrive about 30 minutes before the bride is expected to help set up a display of presents, perhaps under a shower umbrella, symbolizing good luck and shelter. Eating and opening gifts are the main activities. And of course, there are those party games. My love note for today, showers are no longer exclusively for women, and gifts are as likely to include cross-country skis and camping gear, as well as lasagna pans and lingerie.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and you can get up to a $5 cashback bonus on your first tank.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SUPPLY to get up to a $5 cashback bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SUPPLY to get up to a $5 cashback bonus on your first tank. That's code SUPPLY for up to a $5 cashback bonus.
Lawson's Tractor 2, your local Kubota equipment dealer, wants to help you deliver a job done right. That's why they want you to know that the new Kubota inventory is arriving daily. You have work to do. They have the reliability and durability and versatile lineup to help you do it all. Visit Lawson's Tractor 2 today for all your equipment needs. Lawson's Tractor 2, 4 miles south of Danville on Highway 127, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. Lawson's Tractor 2.
Listen to WHIR online at hometownlive.net, powered by Kentucky, YMAX.com.
All right, 8:41 in the morning. We're happy to have you on the show. Speaking of Poison, have you heard the news about Poison? They've canceled their reunion tour. Let me give you the story here. Their 40th anniversary tour is off. Now, Poison was supposed to be celebrating that 40th anniversary this year, but it's not happening, and it is supposedly Bret Michaels' fault. Now, Poison is an anomaly in rock, a band that's lasted 4 decades with all of its lineup. Bret on the microphone, C.C. DeVille on guitar, Bobby Dahl on bass, and Ricky Rockette on drums. But apparently, Bret thinks he's a little more equal than the other guys. Maybe like a little more than equal. And he demanded 600% more than the rest of the band in the Poison tour. Rockette says, quote, he wanted the lion's share of the money to the point where it makes it not possible to even do it. It's like $6 to every one of our dollars. You just can't work that way. He adds, quote, I don't do this for the money. I do have a love for this, absolutely, but at the same time, you don't want to go out and work really hard just to make somebody else a bunch of money. Rockette says finding a replacement for Bret and doing the tour without him isn't out of the question, but it's not something he wants to do. He said, quote, I'm not quarreling with Bret. We just didn't come to an agreement. I don't like it, and I'll say that, but it's not like let's put up our dukes. I don't think there's a better frontman for Poison. As of right now, though, Poison's 40th anniversary tour is off because Bret Michaels wanted a lot more money, 600% more than anyone else.
Looking for a credit card that gives you more cash back than any other card? Then you need the Bret Michaels Cash Rewards Card. Now you can earn 2 times more cash back on purchases of gas and groceries, and 6 times more cash back if you pretend you're Poison frontman Bret Michaels.
The Bret Michaels Cash Rewards Card is great. All I do is wear a bandana and tell people that I'm Bret Michaels from Poison, and I get 600% more cash back than regular people get. Watch this.
Just the dozen eggs, sir?
Yep, just the eggs for me. Bret Michaels from Poison.
Really?
Yep, after I buy these eggs, I'm gonna go put on a show for thousands of people. A rock show.
Well, I have no idea what Bret Michaels looks like, so you must be him. Enjoy your cash back.
The Bret Michaels Cash Rewards Card. Earn 6 times as much cash back by pretending you're Bret Michaels. Sign up today.
Let's see what's going on in Grub Gab, the world of food, where you can just eat it. If the computer can handle this now. I got a lot of not even a lot of different pages up. But there's one page I use for like food news that for some reason has like 7 videos playing at the same time on the page, and you can't X them all out, so it slows the computer down. So bear with me here. We'll see if we can get this done. Fruit Loops cereal from Kellogg's has been a favorite for decades, and the company has just released 3 new flavors of Fruit Loops: Cocoa Loops, Sweethearts, and Glazed Donut Holes. Now here's the rundown. Cocoa Loops features a rich, chocolatey flavor similar to Cocoa Puffs, but with a lighter crunch that Fruit Loops is famous for, so it's Cocoa Loops. They're sweethearts, perfect for the Valentine's Day. This flavor is inspired by the classic candy it's named for, and the cereal comes in a fun heart shape to resemble this Valentine's Day treat and glazed donut holes. This is a new blueberry-flavored entry that is similar to a Dunkin' glazed blueberry donut. Satisfies any sweet tooth. Food blogger Morgan Chomp spotted the new cereals at Walmart. Fans that have tried them commented with, quote, "These are delicious and yes, please and thank you." You can head to Walmart to try some for yourself, and they should be also showing up at other retailers nationwide in the very near future. All right, here we go. Now we're using the website that has the videos playing on it that you can't X out of. They just keep on playing. See if the computer can handle this. Chick-fil-A is testing new iced coffee flavors and a new cold cream brew at participating locations in Anniston, Birmingham, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The iced coffee is being tested with new caramel and mocha flavors in addition to the current vanilla and plain options. The new cold cream brew features the chain's cold brew coffee, same as its iced coffee, mixed with a sweet cream blend, the chain's milkshake base, according to the ingredient list, and served over ice. Like the iced coffee, it's available in caramel, mocha, vanilla, and plain varieties. This test run will last through January the 31st. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, let's go to Cheese It, where they're rolling out their first ever gluten-free cracker early next month, made with a blend of rice, sorghum, and yellow corn flours, and certified by the Gluten-Free Certification Organization. The new version was created after years of fan requests, and some shoppers report already spotting this at stores like WHIR and Target. Early reactions say the taste is almost identical to the original, delivering the same cheesy crunch people expect. The gluten-free crackers are a part of a bigger 2026 lineup that also includes Snack Mix, Crunch Crackers, Snapped Honey Barbecue, and Grooves Loaded Nacho. Cheez-It launches its first ever gluten-free crackers. Kellogg's releases 3 all-new Fruit Loops flavors. And Chick-fil-A testing out a cold cream brew. That's what's going on in Grub Gab. You know you can always just eat it on Grub Gab on the Joe Show. It's 8:46 in the morning. We're going to see what's going on not out west in Hollywood. Well, I guess kind of. But on this date in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history, some of them may just be incidentally located in Hollywood. But James the Gardener is going to be on here as well, giving us gardening tips. In the 9 o'clock in the morning hour, it's Dusty and Ann Yeager on the show.
Hello, this is James David Sperlin. The Sperlin family is proud to be the owner of Preston Pruitt Sperlin Funeral Home in Danville. Our pledge to you is to offer the same compassionate, caring service that Preston Pruitt established in 1880.
The Sperlin family has many years' experience taking care of families like yours with the finest and most affordable services available. They're located on South 4th Street in Danville. Call 859-236-4343, 236-4343.
Preston Pruitt Sperlin Funeral Home. Our family serving your family.
Well, happy Tuesday. I'm Scott Fitzgerald. Let's talk sports here on the Kentucky News Network. College football's national championship is heading to Bloomington for the first time ever.
Mendoza ready to take the snap. He takes it. He looks. He throws the football. And
he runs it.
No, he runs it. And he ties for the end zone. Does he get it in? Touchdown! Fernando Mendoza runs the football and scores.
Fernando Mendoza drove for a key rushing touchdown to make it a 2-score game in the fourth quarter. The Hoosiers take down the Miami Hurricanes 27-21 in the playoff title game from Miami. Top-ranked Indiana finishes a perfect 16-0. Back here in the Commonwealth, new Kentucky coach Will Stein met with the media yesterday at Kroger Field, offering a detailed look at his first roster and staff in Lexington. Stein emphasized building the team the right way, noting the importance of keeping commitments to Kentucky's high school class while reshaping the roster through the transfer portal.
The best way that we're going to move forward is really starting inside the state of Kentucky. It has to. I mean, in this next class, there's a lot of really good talent in the state right now, a lot. And when I've seen Kentucky at its best, it's homegrown talent. That's where you got to start. And then you look at really the 5-6 hour radius, around us, Nashville, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit, even going to Charlotte, Atlanta. Like, those are the cities that you really want to hone in on, even St. Louis.
Staying with the Cats after 3 straight comeback wins, Kentucky received 27 votes in this week's AP Top 25 while receiving 5 votes in this week's Coaches Poll. Kentucky back at it tomorrow when she'll Sean Miller in Texas drop in Rupp Arena. The Horns survive, winners of 2 of their last 3 to include an upset of then number 10 Vanderbilt and then 13th ranked Alabama. And the Bengals could be facing another offseason shakeup on offense. Cincinnati allowing offensive coordinator Dan Pitcher to interview for the Buccaneers head coaching job. And the Tennessee Titans have found their new coach. According to ESPN, they're going to hire former Jets coach Robert Saleh. I'm Scott Fitzgerald.
This is Boyle County EMS Director Mike Rogers. Boyle County is one of 6 counties in the state that offers a crisis response unit. What does that mean? When 911 receives a call from someone going through a mental health crisis, Boyle County EMS responds appropriately in a discreet manner with a social worker and a paramedic, keeping the individual's dignity intact. If you or someone you know suffers from a mental health issue, Boyle County EMS is ready to help. Call 911 or Boyle County EMS at 859-238-1134. Boyle County EMS, when life feels overwhelming, we bring calm, care, and a path forward.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
Thank you there, Little Lady Joe. Brought to you by our friends hanging out over at Good Neighbor Pharmacy. They're in Danville, behind Cracker Barrel. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturday, 9 to 5. Good Neighbor Pharmacy. Sunshine, a high of 29, a low tonight of 20. 2 below zero is the wind chill today. We're actually just a bit below that. 2.2 is what my thermometer says. Tomorrow is Wednesday, mostly cloudy, 43 and 30. Thursday, mostly sunny and 42. Friday, mostly cloudy and 30. It's 8:51 in the morning. It's 8 degrees. Wind chill at 2 below zero. Tuesday, the 20th day of the month of January. And I'm just so happy you're on the show with us. Joining us this morning, 859-238-9447 is the phone number to call in this morning. That's 238 WHIR. We're going to have James the gardener over here in just a second. Before we hop into our gardening tip on this icy cold Tuesday, let's see what's gone on this date in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history. Starting off on this date, back in 1952, where guitarist and singer Paul Stanley was born. Yeah, co-founder of this group, Kiss. The group rose to prominence in the mid-1970s with shock rock-style live performances that featured fire-breathing, blood-spitting, smoking guitars, shooting rockets, levitating drum kits, and pyrotechnics. Their 1976 album, Rock and Roll Over, spent 26 weeks on the charts, and they scored a top 5 single with Crazy Crazy Nights. They've been awarded 24 gold albums to date, the most of any American rock band, selling more than 40 million albums. Stanley was the star child persona for Kiss. And the star over his eye, Paul Stanley, this date, 1952, one of the founders of Kiss. Having a birthday. 74 years old. It was on this day in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history in the year 1982. Maybe one of the most shocking things to ever happen in rock and roll concert history happened on this day in 1982. I don't think it's a stretch to call this one of the most shocking things to happen in rock and roll concert history, because when you think and talk about this artist, despite all the great songs this artist had, this is one of the talking points that you bring up. Like, you're like, oh yeah, he's the one that bit the head off the bat. It happened on this day, 1982, in Des Moines, Iowa, where a member of the audience threw a bat onto the stage. Stunned by the light, the bat was motionless, and thinking it was a rubber fake, Ozzy Osbourne picked it up and attempted to bite its head off. As he did this, the bat started to flap its wings, and Ozzy soon realized it wasn't a fake, but it was a living thing. So it's not like Ozzy, he thought it was fake. He wasn't like, oh wow, a live bat, let me just chomp its head off. He was crazy, but he wasn't that crazy, I guess. There was a line, and he drew the line. I'm not going to bite any live bat heads off. But then he crossed that line, not knowing. By the way, Ozzy finished the show. After the show, was immediately rushed to a hospital for rabies shots. On this date, 1982, Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off a live bat at a concert in Des Moines, Iowa. It was on this day in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history. This group was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. On this date, 1988, the Beatles inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. George Harrison, Ringo Starr, Yoko, Sean, and Julian Lennon were all there. Obviously, notably not there was Paul McCartney, who did not attend, sending instead a letter stating that continuing business differences with the other ex-Beatles was the reason he didn't show up. On this date, 1988, the Beatles were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Somewhere in a smile, she knows that I don't need no other lover.
And it was on this day in rock and roll, pop, and R&B music history in the year 2002, where this artist had the posthumous #1 single with the re-release of a former #1 that went #1 in 1971. And then 31 years later went back to #1. We get to go back-to-back with George Harrison. Of course, George wrote something for the Beatles. On this day, 2002, George Harrison's My Sweet Lord went #1. Now, the reason I'm focusing on this is because this made history. George Harrison's single replaced Aaliyah's single, More Than a Woman. It was the only time in chart history that one deceased artist had taken over from another deceased artist at #1. George Harrison went #1 this date, 2002.
My sweet Lord, my Lord, my Lord, I really want to see you.
And now, for the next few minutes, the man with the jolly green thumb and the big straw hat is going to tell us where it's at. Gardening with James, that's the name. Growing good food, that's our aim. Working in our garden every day. Well, we might not be all that pretty, but
it's just going to be cold, and we just have to be prepared. You know, keep those long johns out, keep those overalls or whatever it is that you have for those cold days, because